Welcome into the Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Game of the Week. Tonight it's an Ottawa County showdown in preseason tournament time as the Bennington Bulldogs took the short trip from Bennington High School to visit their neighbors in Ottawa County, the Minneapolis Lions. Welcome into Minneapolis High School. Devin Haney along with Russ Kossel, Brian Dennett providing live stream video tonight on SalinaPost.com, and that's brought to you by the Bennington State Bank. Bennington State Bank is in the middle of open house season for their Christmas open houses, and you can visit an open house at a branch near you. There's one coming up tomorrow in Salina from 9 until 4. Then a couple of next week, one of them right here in Minneapolis on Wednesday, December 13th from 9 until 4. Then in Bennington, Thursday, December 14th from 9 until 4. And then wrapping it up in Abilene on Friday, December 15th from 9 until 4. Stop by at Bennington State Bank during their Christmas open house. Enjoy holiday treats, fun giveaways, and, of course, grab your 2024 BSB calendar. I want to thank them for hopping on board and providing live stream video of tonight's contest here on SalinaPost.com, wherever you may be watching or listening. I want to welcome you in as well. We're running a little bit late because we had some JV games earlier this evening, and so far things are going very well from the visitors down the road in Bennington. The JV girls tonight squeaked one out for Bennington over Minneapolis. That was a really good basketball game in junior varsity. 49-47, the Bennington girls won. Then there was the JV boys' turn, 63-16. That one wasn't such a good game as Bennington cruised to victory there and got the victory over the Minneapolis JV squad. So two varsity contests coming up here, and we should have a couple of really good games. We have the 2-0 Minneapolis Lady Lions under the direction of head coach Brian Weatherman. They'll try to defend their home floor. They've opened up with their first two games on the road, both of them wins. And they will try to defend against the Bennington Bulldogs here tonight under the direction of head coach Tracy Pifo. They're coming in 1-1 on the season, but they had a big win on Tuesday night over Solomon to open this tournament 48-5. So we'll go over those scores. We'll also get you all set for this one with starters and the tip. We're taking a 60-second timeout here in pregame, and we'll be back with the Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Area High School Game of the Week after this on Salina Post.
The hours of drills, the pre-dawn workouts, the hundreds of laps. It takes hard work, passion, and drive to do what you love. When you're sidelined by injury, Salina Regional Sports Medicine is just as committed and works just as hard to get you back in the game. Salina Regional Sports Medicine, 785-452-7366. SalinaRegionalSportsMedicine.com.
The Bennington State Bank proudly supports local sports and wants each student to know that their hard work and talent is noticed and appreciated. At Bennington State Bank, they care about local communities and are committed to fostering long-term relationships through the delivery of excellent customer service, integrity, and fairness. From helping local businesses to supporting community youth and nonprofits to helping you purchase your dream home or invest in your future, Bennington State Bank is here to help. Give them a call to experience exceptional banking with hometown service. Bennington State Bank, your trusted hometown bank. Member FDIC. APAC Kansas Incorporated has been building the Heartland from the ground up for over a century. From the supply of aggregate materials, hot mix asphalt, and concrete to the construction of roads and bridges, we do it all. You've seen our trucks, and now we want to hire you. APAC in Salina is growing, and we are hiring for all positions. From truck drivers to mechanics, general laborers, and construction, APAC has your next career. For more details, visit the job links page at salinapost.com. Great pay and benefits, APAC is an equal opportunity employer.
When does normal acute pain become abnormal chronic pain? Chronic pain can be one of two types, nociceptive and neuropathic. Each type differs based on what causes it, what it feels like, and what treatments may relieve it. Neuropathic pain can often be managed by a therapy called neurostimulation or spinal cord stimulation. If you suffer from chronic pain, ask your primary care physician for a referral to the Salina Pain Clinic. Our pain specialists will discuss the right options to manage your pain. Online at SalinaPainClinic.org. Welcome
back into Minneapolis High School. We're in pregame, getting ready for the Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Game of the Week. We'll go girls first, and will be the Minneapolis Lions taking on the Bennington Bulldogs. This Minneapolis team, and really the Bennington team too, Russ Kossel, they are two teams that are looking for big seasons. They kind of teased that a little bit last year. Brian Weatherman and his Lady Lions from Minneapolis went 15-6 a year ago. I know they were very disappointed because they lost Sub-State first round on their home floor, and that was an abrupt end to their season. This Minneapolis team off to a 2-0 start so far this year with two road wins at Inman. to win 51-44 to start the season. Then they got a big victory on Tuesday at El Saline in Brookville, 54-25. This Minneapolis team, once again, led by names like Josie Schrader, Brady Weatherman, Micah Deronay, Macy McClure, and Maggie Shoup. Brian Weatherman, in his 16th season, he's one of the veteran coaches in the NCAA. When we look at the Bennington squad, they are on that same trajectory, going up and up and up under third-year head coach Tracy Pifo. Tracy has this team really in the right direction. When he took over his first season, they were 12-10, and then last year they shot up to 17-6, playing 23 games, 23 games in that season. They're really looking for a big year this year, looking to do more, and so far it's been a 1-1 start. They lost to Sylvan Lucas in their first game of the season, 32-40, but then turned around and hammered Solomon 48-5 on Tuesday night. I know these are two teams with very big dreams coming into this season.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And, you look at this coaching matchup before you look at the young ladies out on the floor. Brian Weatherman and Tracy Pifo have been around this game for a long, long time. Tracy's had a very extensive coaching career. He had one stint already with the girls at Bennington. Now he's back again. He's probably coached some of these girls since they were 7, 8, 9 years old, so they've been around his system. And you talk about Weatherman being in his 16th year here at Minneapolis. It's in a small towns like this, you rarely see people that will stick around, that long and be that long of a tenured coach. And now you look at what's going out on the floor, and we'll talk about this as the game goes on, but there's a couple key players on both sides of the court, offensively and defensively, for the Lions and for the Bulldogs.
There absolutely is. We'll take one more break here in pregame, and when we come back, we will have the starters for you and the tip. We'll get this one started. It's Bennington and Minneapolis. On the girls' side, it's the Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Area Game of the Week, brought to you by Bennington State Bank.
Gabe with Sage Products in Salina, offering industrial strength products that get the job done right. We are featuring hospital-grade disinfectant sprays, wipes, and hand sanitizers to keep you safe this time of year. We carry toilet paper with a large assortment of hand towels. Check out our private line of colorful products like Mom's Streak-Free Glass Cleaner or our friendly Amazing Green Bowl Cleaner. Go online to sageselects.com, visit our 9th Street location in Salina, or call 309-1919.
Your next visit to the doctor for an upcoming procedure or surgery should start with a conversation about Salina Surgical Hospital. Hi, this is Geraldine Diedrich, and we are truly committed to fostering your health and well-being. From outpatient procedures to inpatient stays, you will feel the difference in our excellent care and compassion. Talk to your doctor about scheduling your next procedure at Salina Surgical Hospital. Your surgical experience is our specialty. Salina Surgical Hospital is partially owned by a group of local, community-involved physicians.
Insurance is something we all need in our business, home, car, and life. But do you really understand what's covered? And most importantly, what you are paying for? Hi, this is Rob Carlson in the Salina office of Smart Insurance. Change is good, especially if you haven't looked at your insurance policy lately. I can help you understand what you need and where the gaps are in your coverage. We provide free quotes and take pride in looking out for you. Smart Insurance, with locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington. Give us a call today.
The hours of drills, the pre-dawn workouts, the hundreds of laps. It takes hard work, passion, and drive to do what you love. When you're sidelined by injury, Salina Regional Sports Medicine is just as committed and works just as hard to get you back in the game. Salina Regional Sports Medicine, 785-452-7366. SalinaRegionalSportsMedicine.com.
Welcome back here to Minneapolis High School. Just about ready to get this underway. Not quite an hour off, but tell you what, we had a couple of really good JV games earlier, especially the girls' game. That was an entertaining contest to watch. And we expect the same out of these varsity contests here between two Ottawa County foes. They always get together in this early season tournament that also involves El Saline. It also involves Solomon. A nice little kind of smaller school tournament here where you don't have to travel a lot and you get some games underway. This tournament will wrap up actually on Saturday on the campus of Kansas Wesleyan at Mabee Arena. So if you're wanting to watch some nice high school basketball and you don't want to travel out of Salina, you can just go over to Mabee Arena where they're having back-to-back nights of high school basketball. They will have the conclusion of this tournament involving Minneapolis, Bennington, also El Saline and Solomon on Saturday. But on Friday, they're going to have the Mayor's Cup. They're going to have action at Mabee Arena between South and Central. We'll have that game for you right here on SalinaPost.com. Tyler Henry will have the call of the Mayor's Cup between Salina Central and Salina South coming up on Friday right here on the Salina Post. Let's go over starting lineups for you. First, for the visiting Bennington Bulldogs, they will start Tamron Watson, a senior, along with Taylin Jilka, another senior. Sarah Winters in the starting lineup, a sophomore. Rory Miles, a junior. And rounding out the starting five for head coach Tracy Pifo is Ava Lawson, another senior. Tracy Pifo in his third season. He led this Bennington team last year to a 17-6 record. So far this season, they're off to a 1-1 start. For the Minneapolis Lions, under the direction of head coach Brian Weatherman, in his 16th season, they will start Josie Schrader, a 5'4" sophomore. Brady Weatherman, another 5'4" sophomore. Micah Deronay, a 5'9" junior. Macy McClure, a 5'6" sophomore. And Maggie Shoup, a 5'7" junior. Again, Brian Weatherman in his 16th season here for Minneapolis.
I think you're a year off.
Yeah, he gave me his roster from last year.
The roster from last year.
Awesome.
Yeah, you are correct. So all those girls are here, just a year older,
just
year
a year
wiser.
Older. Just think, though, last year they were that age.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was going through that, of course, we see Minneapolis 2, maybe 3 times a year while we're covering southeast of Saline. And I went, those girls are awfully young. Did they get an extra year of eligibility like all the college players? Anyway, Bennington's going to come out. They're going to wear their black trimmed in yellow. Minneapolis comes out wearing their predominantly white, red, and blue. And this should be a really good contest for us of 2 teams going at it here trying to get a win.
Yeah, and I think you're going to have to look at this from 2 perspectives, both offensively and defensively. But defensively, for Minneapolis, they're bringing back a lot of players they had last year. You talked about it. You went through this lineup, and they were all but one were starters last year. You got to look at girls like Brady Weatherman, Macy McClure, and on the Bennington side, Ava Lawson and Tamron Watson will probably be the go-tos for Tracy Pifo's Lady Bulldogs team to start this game.
Senior Maggie Shoup in the center circle. She will jump it up along with Taylin Jilka. Minneapolis will win the tip. They will start out on offense in their white jerseys, working from right to left as you view it live on SalinaPost.com. Brought to you by our friends at Bennington State Bank. Minneapolis working it around here. They go to the right-hand side. Now nearly coughing it up. The ball bounces out towards the timeline. And they're going to ask for some help here getting back into the offense as Josie Schrader was able to save it. Coming up to help is Macy McClure. She'll unload it to the right-hand side. Now Micah Deronay. Now back over to the left to Schrader. Low post entry, down low, little back and forth. Now a kick out for 3, and a quality possession to start the game for the Minneapolis Lions as Brady Weatherman gets on the board with a tray.
Yeah, very good offense right there, moving the ball around as Macy McClure nearly gets a steal right there to stay with Bennington, but very good ball movement, very patient right there for this Lions offense. They kind of got Bennington out of sorts in that man-to-man, so a good find right there for Minneapolis.
And that's one thing you're going to see out of this Minneapolis team all night long is a tenacious defense that will test you not only in the half court but also in the full court as you see them full court pressing right out of the gate. Bennington's going to have to handle that pressure from wire to wire, first quarter through the end of the fourth quarter. Now here's another deflection. Goes out of bounds right to the Minneapolis bench to assistant Eric Shoup. It will remain Bulldog basketball.
Yeah, and that's 2 possessions right now. The ball out of bounds twice on deflections. Minneapolis is going to be up in your face and make you control the ball. You have to be strong with it if you're Bennington outside the 3-point line.
Tamron Watson gives it up. A little skip pass over the top to Taylor Watson. Taylor gave it up. Now she gets it back. Watson has it up top. Tamron has it. She's going to drive. Lane, left-hand side. That's no good. Ball high off the backboard, and it's going to be rescued here from Minneapolis. Back the other way comes the Lions. Josie Schrader has it. Inside, Shoup. She took one dribble inside the keyhole and was fouled. Our first foul of the basketball game will belong to the Bennington Bulldogs.
And 2 totally different sets on the offensive end. As you talked about it, Minneapolis is going to be up in your face as a real easy inbounds and a busted play right there. And a good shot by Maggie Shoup right there, wide open underneath.
Maggie Shoup gets her first basket of the night. Minneapolis off to a quick 5-0 start and then back into that full court pressure. Here's a deflection. Anna Steele. Minneapolis takes it away. McClure has it. Now Weatherman for three. Missed that one on the left-hand side. Race to the rebound. And a Lion goes tumbling out of bounds with a nice little gymnastics move. That was a good move there by Josie Schrader. She popped right up. Didn't get hurt. Was questioning about the contact and no foul. And it's going to remain Bennington basketball.
Yeah, Minneapolis right now being much, much more aggressive, not only on the defensive side, but crashing the boards and trying to get offensive rebounds.
Taylor Watson has it right now. She'll bring it up the lane, up the left-hand sideline. Now play it back out up top. Tambrin Watson has it. Looking for Rory Miles, unable to get it to her. Now back to Rory Miles, this time between the circles. She'll reset the offense. Bennington looking for their first shot at the basket here. They have been able to have one. Here's a pass inside. It was intended for Lawson, and it's taken away by Deronay. Here come the Lions off and running. They're going to stop at the right-hand side, short of the block. Now play it back out to Macy McClure. Deronay has the top of the circle. Now back to the left-hand side. Low post entry. Shoup goes to work. She's surrounded by three black jerseys. Now kicks it out for a three. That one no good. Loose ball on the floor. It's going to be saved and put up and in by Maggie Shoup. Shoup was falling away from the rim, still able to get enough flight on that basketball that it goes in the hole, and it's a 7-0 Minneapolis start.
And an offensive rebound once again leading to points, and now a pressure turnover right there for Tambrin Watson, just a little out of control, looking for Taylor Watson. And I think if you're Bennington right now, Devin, you kind of got to slow down, get the ball across half court, and then let your offense get set up. Their offense is out of sorts all over the place.
Jordan Bartlett comes in for Bennington. Minneapolis is going to turn it over. And here comes Weatherman trying to steal it away. She knocks it out of bounds, and it will stay with Bennington.
Also have Raylan Robinson in for the Lady Lions from Minneapolis.
Bennington gets the basketball in. They're trailing 7-0, 4:51 left to go here first quarter. Here's a pass out to the left-hand side. Bartlett has it. Now back to Watson, over to Rory Miles. She'll drive baseline. Shot up, deflected, nearly goes out of bounds, but it's going to be saved by Bartlett. The official said, though, she had a toe on the sideline, and it will go back to the Minneapolis Lions.
And I think if you're Bennington, you have to look inside. You're going to have to play inside out. You got Ava Lawson inside at 5'11", that is 4 inches taller than the tallest person, which would be probably Deronay out there for Minneapolis, and she has yet to touch the ball on the offensive side.
Mason McClure with the basketball for Minneapolis. She'll come across the timeline, left-handed dribble. Now go back on the crossover and swing it to the right. Pass intended to go inside to Deronay is slapped out of bounds by Bartlett, and it will stay with Minneapolis. They'll have a chance to run some baseline offense underneath their own basket.
And I think it's clear that Coach Weatherman wants them to go inside out. We've seen about 3 or 4 threes that have gone inside to Shoup and Deronay and kicked out wide open for a three. Inbounds
comes to Schrader. They try to go back to Deronay in the lane, and that one's going to be coughed up by Minneapolis. That's their second turnover of this first quarter. 4:17 left to go, 7-0 Minneapolis. And now a traveling violation, a little shuffle of the feet there, going to be whistled on the Bulldogs, and that will be their 4th turnover of the first quarter.
Yeah, like I said, if you're Bennington, you got to slow down and get that offensive set, and somehow you have to find Ava Lawson open to get her the ball inside.
She has not touched the ball really on a quality touch yet. Minneapolis doing a nice job taking that away, and now Lawson's going to get baited into a foul. It was a slow pass coming into Micah Deronay. Lawson thought she could get around and get a hand in the passing lane. She could not, and that is her first foul of the night.
And I think where she was at in that position, she was trying to get to that 3-quarter front, but the pass was already on its way. At that point, you just got to play off, as she's got a much bigger height advantage, as now it looks like Minneapolis is going to go to the bench once again.
Brady Weatherman had a quick break. She's back in there. Along with her comes Elena Kosar. Now a three-pointer put up and in by Josie Schrader. Schrader's first basket of the night. 10-0 Minneapolis. 3:49 left to play. We're over halfway through the first quarter, and now a traveling violation in the backcourt whistled against Bennington.
Also in there for Minneapolis is Bailey Randall Hurt, coming in, another post presence on the inside that gives them some height, and she matches up very well with Ava Lawson on that inside. 10-0
Minneapolis. Minneapolis set to inbound here in front of Bennington's bench. It will be Josie Schrader doing the honors. Lob pass inside in the court of play about the elbow area. Now comes back out to Brady Weatherman. Down low, now back up top. Here's Shoup driving to the basket. Leaner is up and good. Maggie Shoup went to work and she scored her third basket of the night, and that will prompt a 30-second timeout from the Bennington bench. 3:36 left to go here, and it's 12-0. Minneapolis off to a very quick start. This gives us a chance to thank the sponsors for tonight's contest: L&L Advisors, Agent Joe Guillory. See Joe for consulting on Medicare supplements, insurance plans, prescription plans, and more. That's Joe Guillory at L&L Advisors. 2 locations in Salina, one over by Salina Stadium, just off the corner of Roach and Crawford. The other one in Salina Central Mall by Joann's Fabrics, and their third location in downtown McPherson. Visit L&L Advisors today. Also, Twin Valley. Twin Valley is now offering up to 2 gigabytes per second symmetrical fiber internet in Bennington, and construction is also underway right here in Minneapolis. You can learn more at twinvalley.com/internet. Back to action, Bennington with the basketball. They approach the timeline, now kick it back deeper into the backcourt. Tamron Watson will bring it across. Excuse me, that's Taylor Watson. Now they go back middle of the floor. Rory Miles, she fires a pass over to the right-hand side. Bennington working it around here. They get an open shot in the short corner, left-hand side. That's no good. Rebound taken in here by Raylan Robinson for Minneapolis.
Bennington, a couple subs there. Jordan Bartlett coming into the game, as well as freshman Addison Gillett. And we saw her light it up from the three-point line. That kind of sealed that win for Bennington in that first game of the day.
It was a really good ending to that game. The last 2 minutes was chaos. Just back and forth scoring. It was a really good game. Here's Weatherman firing from 3. That hits the front of the lip, and a rebounding foul is going to be whistled here against Bennington. It's going to go against Taylor Watson, and that is her first.
Yeah, and right there for Minneapolis, Bailey Randall Hurt just getting the position on the inside right there and getting the position to block her out and force her to go through her.
2:47 left to play here in the first quarter, just underway. Doubleheader action coming up here from Minneapolis. Minneapolis and Bennington will play the varsity boys contest right after this girls contest. Inside, the basketball goes to Elena Kosart. Bennington working the basketball around after Minneapolis came up empty. And a shot that is up, or excuse me, a foul. Nope, they're going to say jump ball. I'll get the third one right.
It looks like they're going to bring in Maggie Shoup coming back into the game. Getting a blow right now would be Raylan Robinson. Got a little question on the numbers here. I have number 10 is Bailey Randall Hurt in the program.
You're right. 2:09 left to go. Shot up off the back of the rim. That's no good. Rebounded, though, by Bennington on the offensive end. Lawson trying to go up and in. That ball rolled off the rim. Thought about going in, and it did not. But Lawson fouled, and she will have 2 free throws coming up.
And that started with going inside out. Get the ball inside, you get a shot out, and Ava Lawson has the position as she makes the first free throw. But she has to touch the ball, I think. She's got to get good quality touches on that inside as Randall Hurt's going to come out and Daronay coming back into the game. But Ava Lawson going to have one more. But I think you're right. You got to get it in there as now after this free throw, she's going to get a little break here. Working very hard on the inside and just unable, the guard's just unable to find her. She makes both free throws now and is going to get a break out of this game. And it looks like Alyssa Wolf is going to check in for the Bennington Bulldogs.
So first points of the game scored here for Bennington. They come at the free throw line with a couple of free throws from Ava Lawson. Up the floor, speeding. Macy McClure with us. She'll unload it left-hand side. Shot up, no good by Josie Schrader. Rebound, though, on the other side of the floor. Taken in there by Maggie Shoup. And she'll save it back here. Minneapolis will stay on offense. Here's a drive to the basket. Schrader is fouled on the left-hand side, and she has free throws now coming up after another team foul here against Bennington.
It's going to go against Rory Miles of Bennington and just out of position right there. And it's clear right now that Minneapolis is much more aggressive at the start of this than what Bennington has. They're getting second, third chance shots as the first free throw is good. but you have to find a body on them. They're crashing 5 girls to the glass and just out-positioning and really out-muscling Bennington right now.
Another free throw coming up here for Josie Schrader. She made the first. Southpaw free throw is up and good. 2 free throws for Minneapolis. Josie Schrader has 5 for the Lady Lions. 1:35 left to go here, first quarter. Bennington with the basketball. Rory Miles with it. Sweeps a big crossover. Gets to the backboard on the right-hand side. That's no good. Come crashing in is Alyssa Wolf, the junior. She is unable to get it, but Bennington retains possession. It held into with Bartlett for a moment. Now over for a three-pointer from Miles. That's no good. And here comes Minneapolis back the other way. Shoop with it. Unloads it to Weatherman. Right-hand side attacking the basket. That ball off the backboard hard. Won't go in. Daronay and also Bennington's Alyssa Wolf fighting over that basketball. And they're going to go to the arrow at the table and sort this one out. For Bennington, into the game comes Chloe Dossett.
Yeah, and I think Bennington's just going to have to get more aggressive. Right now on the offensive end, you got nothing going for you. As another wide open look from 3 is good, and a shooter's touch right there.
Brady Weatherman, her second of the day. 17-2. Biggest lead so far for the Lions. Now here's a steal. Minneapolis takes it away. McClure, she's going to kick it out here. Weatherman's going to try it again. That one's an air ball, no good, but they're going to say a rebounding foul inside. As that ball was coming in, it's going to go against Minneapolis, and it will be McClure who takes this foul.
Yeah, just kind of an aggressive play right there. She saw it was short, and Bennington girl just happened to be right in her way, and Macy just unable to put on the brakes.
17-2, last minute of the first quarter. Bennington in the backcourt. Minneapolis still with that relentless pressure. Bennington gets it up to Bartlett. Bartlett, cross-court pass for a three-pointer. That's an air ball, no good. Bartlett, though, there to get the rebound. Gets it back into the court of play to Alyssa Wolf, who had a nice look at the basket, and she's going to knock it down. First field goal of the game for Bennington comes at the 22nd mark. 17-4. 14 seconds left to go. Shoop out near the perimeter, dribbling with the basketball. Now back to Micah Daronay. Now over to the left, back inside Shoop. She'll back down the defender. Shot up, no good. Daronay with the weak side rebound, and she is going to be fouled with 3 seconds left to play. And this is the 5th foul of the quarter. And this should be free throws coming up under the new rule.
Yeah, and that's the 2nd foul on Rory Miles, and you hate to see that if you're Bennington. You got 3 seconds left on the clock. You got to have situational awareness there, knowing that if you got her Daronay double teamed as she makes the first free throw, that you got to just go straight up and know your position, where you're at on the floor, and how much time's left.
First free throw by Micah Daronay, up and good. So far, Minneapolis has shot 3 free throws in this game. This will be the 4th attempt, and it is up and good. They're 4 for 4. 3 seconds left for Bennington to work. They get it inbounds, and that will be the end of the quarter. A solid quarter for Brian Weatherman's Lady Lions, as they had taken a big lead here at the end of the first quarter, 19-4. This is the Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Area Game of the Week. Back with the second quarter action after the 60-second timeout here on Salina Post.
The Ram Black Friday sales event is your chance to save big all month long. Hi, at Marshall Motors in Salina. Get 10% off MSRP on 23 Ram 1500 models. That's a discount of up to $13,000 off. On the heavier side, get up to $15,000 off a 23 Ram 2500. Shop everything Ram and find your new truck at the Black Friday sales event at Marshall Motors in Salina and online at marshallmotor.com.
The winter season may be here, but paintball fun is still waiting for you at Elite Sports. Elite Sports Paintball Complex, located 5 miles south of Salina, is open for special winter hours. Get the group together and visit Elite Sports on Saturdays and Sundays this winter from 11 until 4. Elite Sports features low-impact paintballs for the beginners or little ones, so everyone can have more fun. Visit them online at salinapaintballcomplex.com. Elite Sports Paintball Complex, open and waiting for you this weekend.
Welcome back into Minneapolis High School. A solid start here for the host team, the Lady Lions of Minneapolis. They lead at 19-4 over the Bennington Bulldogs. Twin Valley is a proud sponsor of this game. Twin Valley is dedicated to bringing you the most reliable broadband network with affordable internet rates. hometown customer service, and community outreach. Learn more about fiber internet and the Twin Valley Pledge at twinvalley.com. There's a blocking foul right out of the gate to start the second quarter. This will go on Minneapolis against Josie Schrader.
Yeah, her first foul, and maybe a little change up right there for Bennington, kind of going a dribble handoff. It looks like now Minneapolis going to that 2-3 zone. They were kind of in almost a 1-2-2, an extended 3-2, however you want to look at it in that first half, just very aggressive.
And really, you can easily say that offense was their big thing in the first quarter there, Russ, with a 19-4 lead, but everything was keyed off of defense. I mean, this Minneapolis squad is just flat getting after it.
Yeah, and that just proof right there. Micah Darnay just out-muscling, out-hustling the two Bulldog offensive rebounders that would be, and she just goes up and she just goes and gets it. When you shut them out to one field goal in an 8-minute quarter, you're doing something right.
Darnay so athletic, and she is a disruptor inside. She really has a chance to get about every rebound that goes up off the rim or the backboard. Minneapolis working against Bennington now in a man-to-man set. They do get it into Darnay. Lost the basketball momentarily, but saves it back in, right into the very capable hands, that time, of Macy McClure.
Yeah, it's offensive rebounds. They're penetrating and getting laid down as you're going to get a foul right here against Minneapolis. Just a tough break right there. Minneapolis still extending that pressure. Now you're getting two quick fouls. And remember, with the high school rule changes I know, probably going to talk about it as much as we can before the break to make people understand, but now 5 fouls in a quarter is 2 free throws. There is no one and one anymore with Keisha rules.
Macy McClure picks up the foul. That is her first. 2 team fouls here quickly on Minneapolis. They lead at 21-4. Now they're going to say Raylan Robinson actually got that foul. For Raylan, that is her first. I already had a foul for McClure, so I questioned that right out of the gate. It's early season for everybody, right?
Yeah, that's right.
6:35 left to go. Darnay on the inside, takes on a double team. She's going to throw it up off the window and in. Micah Darnay, her second basket of the game. She has 2 points from the free throw line. That's her first field goal of the day.
Yeah, when things are going right, that was not a good-looking shot, as you're going to get a 3 here. Right here from Rory Miles from Bennington, and another rebound, and Minneapolis looking to push quick ahead.
And that's one thing this Minneapolis squad will do too, man. They feed off their defense, but when they get a turnover, they get a mistake from you, they want to sprint back to the other end.
Yeah, Macy McClure was able to get that loose ball and kick it way up ahead. They're going to call that on the floor. I thought she was going up with it, but I think that was Shoup right there that had a breakaway, kind of a cross-court pass that Macy put right on the numbers and took one dribble and got up to the rim, but just beating them down the floor on offense and defense.
Knocking on the door of a 20-point lead. Minneapolis leads it by 19. Inside to Shoup, back to the basket, up off the window with the little baby left-hander and in. Maggie Shoup leading all scorers with 8.
Yeah, just a fundamentally good play right there. She went right to her left, knew she had to go up with her left hand, just that little baby hook shot, nice and soft off the window.
Bennington with numbers. Shoup gambled for a steal on defense, did not get back until later, but Bennington unable to take advantage of it. Here comes Minneapolis up the floor. They're going to kick it out. Here's a three-pointer that's going to go errant off to the right and out of bounds. It'll be Bennington basketball.
And the one thing maybe that was, you could say, wrong with that is Macy McClure's dribbling the ball up the floor with her left hand and got a defender coming at her. She kind of looked away as Shoup was wide open across the court. Would have had to take one dribble for a layup, but nonetheless, she takes it right back right here.
Here's McClure with it, going against two Bulldogs. Tried to step through the defenders, lost the basketball. It was knocked out of her hands by Bennington, and it will stay with the Lions underneath their own basket.
Josie Schrader checking back into the game for Minneapolis, giving Raylan Robinson a break right here with 5:29 left to go in the first half, 25-4 Minneapolis.
Here's Weatherman off the inbounds, designed three look for her. That won't go. Off a couple of different hands. Bennington's going to scoop it up, and now a foul called on Minneapolis. This will be McClure, and it'll be her second. So already kind of forcing back to the quarter limit now of that new rule that we spoke of a couple of different times. And this year, Russ, it's not a Keisha thing. It's a national thing of high school basketball, where instead of a foul total of halves, where you have 7 fouls, get a 1-and-1, and 10, a double bonus, this is a quarter limit now of 5, which Minneapolis has just got to the limit. Now 4 fouls on Minneapolis. The next one, Bennington will be going to the free throw line for 2 free throws. There's no such thing as a 1-and-1 anymore in high school basketball.
Yeah, and Weatherman's going to pull off and pull back a little bit. Macy picked up her second. Raylan Robinson got about a 30-second break, came in, picked up her second. Now she's back out of the game, and you're going to get another turnover, another traveling violation for Bennington that will turn the ball over back to Minneapolis.
7 turnovers so far here in this game for Bennington. That's their second one of the quarter. We've played about 3 minutes. 25-4. Bennington still looking for their first points of this quarter. So far here in the second, they're being outscored 6-0. 5 minutes left to play here before halftime. Up top with the basketball across the timeline, Schrader gets herself in a little bit of trouble there. And then a timeout is going to be called by Minneapolis. We'll keep it right here as it's a 30 and remind you, L&L Advisors agent Joe Guillory, proud sponsor of this game. You can see Joe for consulting on Medicare supplements, also insurance plans, prescription plans, and more. I know December 7th is the cutoff for the open enrollment, and that is up on us today. So as of midnight, no more open enrollment, but you can see Joe anytime and all of his coworkers. There's such a great staff. Big expert advice, no matter what you're looking at.
And Joe's a very nice guy. He probably should have gave us his phone number if the cutoff was at midnight. I'm sure somebody would have called him.
Oh, I have it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll give it out here in a little bit. I'll tell you what, tomorrow the weekend cannot come enough soon enough for Joe. I know what kind of work those guys put in. It's kind of their tax time, right? If you're an accountant, he has been working very hard. He's such a great guy, too. He will get out of the office. He'll come see you at home if that's what you need. And, man, he is just he's great. Him and Levi and all the guys there at L&L Advisors just really care about what they're doing. Here we're back to action. Bennington got a steal on the inbounds, and then a foul promptly called against Minneapolis. And that will put Bennington now at the free throw line for a couple of free throws.
Yeah, it's going to be Josie Schrader picking up her second foul as well. So now multiple 3 girls for Josie Schrader, Macy McClure, and Raylan Robinson, the 3 guards picking up 2 fouls each in this first half.
First free throw by Tambrin Watson. Misses badly off the right-hand side. She looks around like that's the first time it's ever happened to her. 2 of 3 now, shooting free throws.
It's early in the season. Just said that.
I know. Sometimes I love the expressions, though. Second one, misses. Lawson, though, with the rebound. She can't get it to go. She had a bad angle, couldn't get the backboard, trapped underneath the rim, and the rebound comes away to Minneapolis. Weatherman stepping on the accelerator, speeding up the floor. She'll leave it off in the left-hand corner. Little pick-and-roll action here between McClure and Shoup. Now back to Weatherman, top of the circle. We approach the halfway mark of the second quarter. Here's a deflection and a steal. Bennington comes away with it. They throw it over to the far corner where it's going to be ran down by Rory Miles. Miles now top of the key. Here's a ball fake to Tambrin Watson. She'll go right-hand side to Taylor Watson. Her 3 is unleashed. That won't go. Darrenay with the rebound and a foul called on Bennington.
Yeah, that could have went on about 3 different Bennington players, but they're going to look like Ava Lawson right there, and that'll be her second foul as well. So now you got 5 girls in this game with 2 fouls.
Addison Abel into the game here for Minneapolis. Inside, Darrenay, little sweeping move across the lane. We've seen her do that a couple of times. This one, though, partially deflected by Bennington, and the Bulldogs take it away with 4 minutes left in the second quarter. All the way to the rack, Tambrin Watson will score her first basket of the day.
Yeah, just a little hesitation dribble and got around Macy McClure and just went wide open in there for a layup. What I like for Minneapolis right here on this deep offensive side of the ball is Darrenay working extremely hard on the inside to get open. What a great pass right there by Macy McClure.
She left it off to Shoup, and Shoup was shoved in the back. Still had a chance for that shot to go down. The ball did trickle off. She'll go to the free throw line, and Maggie Shoup will have 2 free throws coming up.
And that is the 3rd foul now for Tambrin Watson.
First free throw shot for Shoup is up and no good. She leads the way with 8 points, scored 6 of those in the first quarter. 3:40 left to play here in the second period. Glad you could join us here for the Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Game of the Week. Live stream video here on Salina Post presented by Bennington State Bank. Second free throw also missing. That's the first two misses at the free throw line in this young game for Minneapolis. They're now 4 out of 6.
Yeah, we had that battle there early on in the first quarter, just scoring bonanza for Minneapolis, and it's kind of slowed down here in the second quarter.
3:37 left to play. Bennington walking it up across the timeline. They'll play a basketball off to the left-hand side. Chloe Dossett has it. She's being hounded, though, by Weatherman defensively. Now back to the right-hand side as Bennington saves it to Rory Miles. Skip pass over the top of the zone. Goes back to Dossett. Back up top now to Bartlett. Dossett has it again. Free throw line extended on the left side of the floor. And a traveling violation whistled here. Bartlett just got wound up a little too tight that time, Russ, and just could not stop in time.
Yeah, Abel with extremely good defense right there on that far side, coming back over on that skip pass. And I'm really impressed with this 3-2 zone that Minneapolis is playing. They are flying around to the ball.
3 minutes left here in the second. 25-6 still our score. Minneapolis, another great pass. McClure that time leaving it off underneath for Darrenay.
Yeah, and that is two just great dimes right there by Macy McClure, both on that little drive to the left.
And a three-pointer up and good by Chloe Dossett. It's her first basket of the night. Now a steal. Bartlett takes it away. 2-on-2 break. Bartlett down the middle of the floor. She's going to take a little bit of a contact here. Now play it back out. Here comes Dossett. Heat check maybe. She's going to take a dribble to her left. That one blocked and taken away. Secured by Maggie Shoup. Here comes Minneapolis. Now the Lions running the other way. Shoup, middle of the floor, top of the circle. Deal it left-hand side to Weatherman. Weatherman now. Back up top as she looks to swing it around the perimeter. Abel touched it. Now to McClure. Right-hand side. She's directing traffic. Wanted to go to Shoup here, and Shoup's going to have to trace it all the way out to the Minneapolis logo. Now she'll go dribble, left-hand elbow. Back over to McClure. Under 2 minutes left to play. They get it in high post at the right elbow to Shoup, and she is bumped from behind by Bartlett. So Jordan Bartlett guilty of the foul. That is her first. Four fouls here for Bennington, so now both teams at the limit. 1:52 remaining here in the first half. Bounce pass in to Shoup. She came away from the basket trying to get control of that ball. That's going to leave space for Weatherman to go up, and Brady Weatherman is fouled. She'll visit the free throw line. A couple of three-pointers in the first quarter for Brady Weatherman. She has 6 points, all from behind the perimeter. And the foul here called on Bennington will go against Alyssa Wolf. That is her first.
Yeah, Minneapolis is attacking the rim now. We saw early in that first quarter where they were attacking and then kicking out and shooting threes.
Weatherman missed the first free throw. Second one, she's able to get home. 7 points now for Brady Weatherman. 1:40 left to go before halftime. Skip pass over the top, stolen away. Shoup takes it. Here comes Maggie Shoup. She's forced all the way out to almost the Bennington bench, and now a traveling violation called as Shoup slammed on the brakes in the middle of that double team, and the official said she drug her pivot foot.
Yeah, that was a good call. She got to come to a jump stop right there. She tried to put on the brakes, but impressed with Shoup as the 5 spot on the floor, able to run that break, and you're going to get another turnover, just back-to-back turnovers right here by both teams. I think you still, if you're Minneapolis, you still got to attack inside and look to dump it off or kick it out to Weatherman for 3.
Turnover count is 11-5. Minneapolis winning that battle right now. They've only committed 5 turnovers, 2 in the first quarter, 3 here in the second quarter. And now a ball that goes out of bounds. They're going to say it's off of Bennington and will stay with Minneapolis here on their offensive end. 28-9. This has been the biggest lead so far that Minneapolis has been able to build. Actually, they did lead by 21 at one point. They led 25-4. Now that equals that lead as Brady Weatherman goes crashing in on the right-hand side. 3 points in the second quarter for Weatherman. 30-9.
Good inbounds play right there. Run the high post up, do a little back cut, and just a wide open layup.
Bennington on their offensive end as we go under a minute left to play. Working it around the perimeter. Skip pass over the top. Here's a big move into the paint. Free throw line jumper up by Miles. That's no good. And the ball out of bounds. Will stay here.
That last layup was actually by Raylan Robinson, not Brady Weatherman.
Appreciate that.
Going to get a couple subs here. It looks like Darren A. going to come back in for Minneapolis, as well as Atlee Smith checking in, seeing her first action of the game.
Three-pointer by Bennington, too strong. Fight for the basketball. A Lion and a Bulldog both on the floor. Alyssa Wolf goes crashing down with Maggie Shoup, and the arrow at the table will say that it's Minneapolis basketball. 36 seconds left to play here for the Lions. See what they want to do with this possession here, leading 30-9.
Just a man-to-man press right here for Bennington. So I think if you're Minneapolis, you just get the ball in and clear out and have your best guard go against their best.
Weatherman had it. Now she gets it back, takes a weird bounce, but she's able to contain it. Inside 20 seconds left to go. Darren A. has it in three-point land. They're working it around to the right-hand side. Weatherman now wants a reset with 12 left on the clock. Addison Abel comes, goes by a screen. Weatherman's going to blow right by her all the way to the rack, and she's going to score. Brady Weatherman gets the 2, and she is fouled. She will go to the free throw line and try to get 3 the hard way with 4.3 seconds left to play.
Yeah, and a good screen right there on the inside by Micah Darrenay, just kind of sealing her defender off, allowing Weatherman to get up there as she gets the and one to go with 4.3 left.
Weatherman's free throw good. Bennington has it. As they get it in bounds here. Miles will come to the timeline and run out of time, and that will be the close of the first half. A good first half for the Minneapolis Lady Lions. They take their biggest lead of the night into the locker room as they lead at 33-9. You're watching the Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Game of the Week right here on SalinaPost.com. When we come back, we'll have stats from the first half. We'll also look ahead to the boys contest. That will be the second game of our doubleheader. That's all coming up here as we are at the halftime break. 33-9, Minneapolis leads Bennington in the varsity girls game right here on Salina Post.
Winter travel can be treacherous if your tires are worn out. Stay safe with an inspection at Commercial Tire Company. Cold weather also drops the inflation in your tires. Get them checked today to avoid losing grip or damaging your tires. Commercial Tire will help keep you safe. For repairs that aren't tire-related, our automotive and diesel mechanics will fix it right the first time. Commercial Tire Centers, West Crawford and North 9th, Salina.
Commercial Tire Centers, where service is everything.
It's the holiday season, and that means holiday gifts for you from Salina Medical Aesthetics. Now through the end of the year, purchase 1 syringe of filler and get 10 units of Botox as your holiday gift. Cruise into winter with the SME Brighten and Tighten Laser Package. 4 dye VL and 4 clear lift treatments for face and neck. Just $2,500. Botox is also 10% off. Treat yourself or those you love with specials and gift cards from Salina Medical Aesthetics. See more online with social media and salinamedesthetics.org.
It's the holidays, the most glorious time of the year. Friends and family coming to your home to celebrate with dinner, drinks, and that terrible, horrendous smell. What is that? That is your septic system backing up into your home and making your holiday stink. If you haven't had your septic system pumped out and cleaned in the last 3 years, you're asking for trouble. Call Salina Septic Service today, and we will make sure your holiday is jolly and bright. Salina Septic Service, wishing you and yours a very Merry Christmas and worry-free holiday season.
The Jeep Black Friday sales event is your chance to save big all month long. Hi, this is Dane at Marshall Motors in Salina. Take 10% off MSRP on the 23 Grand Cherokee. That's $9,500 off. If it's a Jeep Gladiator you've been looking at, now you can get up to $14,000 off a new Jeep Gladiator Sport. Shop everything Jeep, new and pre-owned. Save big at the Black Friday sales event at Marshall Motors in Salina and online at marshallmotor.com.
Back here at Minneapolis High School, Devin Haney along with Russ Kossel, Brian Dennett providing live stream video on SalinaPost.com. You're watching courtesy of our friends at Bennington State Bank. The holiday open houses are in full swing at your local Bennington State Bank branches. And in fact, there's one coming up tomorrow in Salina from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. at the Bennington State Bank branch in Salina. And then next week on Wednesday here in Minneapolis, on Thursday in Bennington, and on Friday in Abilene. I want to thank our friends at Bennington State Bank, your trusted hometown bank, member FDIC. What do you think of that first half there, Russ? It was obviously a game that really the tone was set by the Minneapolis defense, and I think that's pretty much what we expected.
Yeah, and their offense is obviously working 33, but you look at Bennington, it's 11 turnovers. Minneapolis has forced them to turn the ball over 11 times and capitalizing off turnovers, and that was set early on. Like you said in the game, they run that full court press really the whole first half. Maybe the last 2 minutes they backed off when they got to that foul limit, but Bennington right now just struggling defensively to stop them and offensively to put the ball in the hole.
Yeah, and as much as we want to give credit to this Minneapolis defense, I don't want to paint the picture like it's been steals and layups for Minneapolis. Bennington has still gotten back on defense even after they've had a miscue on offense, and they've made Minneapolis score. And Minneapolis in their half-court offensive set in that first half has been pretty good.
Yeah, setting you see a lot of inside out early in that first quarter, get the ball inside to Darnay and shoot. And then with Weatherman had a couple threes, Josie Schrader had a three in that first quarter, but then the mindset kind of changed in that second quarter. Not so much going inside out, but going inside, and then Shoup and Schrader just finishing at the rim. Darnay finishing at the rim, and I'm really impressed with how Micah Darnay has controlled the paint, not only on the defensive end, but on the offensive end as well.
33-9 our halftime score. Let's go over scoring for you. All 5 starters in the scoring column for the Minneapolis Lions, led by Brady Weatherman with 10, 8 for Maggie Shoup, 6 for Micah Darnay, 5 for Josie Schrader, 2 for Macy McClure, and 2 for Raylan Robinson. For the Bennington Bulldogs, in their 9 points, 3 from Chloe Dossett, 2 for Tamron Watson, Alyssa Wolf, and Ava Lawson. Free throw shooting at the line looks like this. Bennington, 2 of 4 from the charity stripe, while Minneapolis is 6 out of 11. Turnover story right now heavily in favor of Minneapolis. The Lady Lions have only committed 5 turnovers, while Bennington has committed 11. And that's what that Minneapolis defense will do to you. It'll make you commit turnovers. Right now they've manufactured 11 mistakes out of the Bennington Bulldogs. Once again, our halftime score, 33-9. When we come back, we'll look at some area games. There's really not a lot going on in the immediate area, although there is some games going on in midseason tournament time. Thursday, just not a popular night to play some of these games, but we will check the Salina Surgical Hospital area scoreboard when we come back. It is halftime. Minneapolis leads Bennington in the varsity girls game 33-9 right here on Salina Post.
The Bennington State Bank proudly supports local sports and wants each student to know that their hard work and talent is noticed and appreciated. At Bennington State Bank, they care about local communities and are committed to fostering long-term relationships through the delivery of excellent customer service, integrity, and fairness. From helping local businesses to supporting community youth and nonprofits to helping you purchase your dream home or invest in your future, Bennington State Bank is here to help. Give them a call to experience exceptional banking with hometown service. Bennington State Bank, your trusted hometown bank. Member FDIC.
The hours of drills, the pre-dawn workouts, the hundreds of laps. It takes hard work, passion, and drive to do what you love. When you're sidelined by injury, Salina Regional Sports Medicine is just as committed and works just as hard to get you back in the game. Salina Regional Sports Medicine, 785-452-7366. SalinaRegionalSportsMedicine.com.
APAC Kansas Incorporated has been building the heartland from the ground up for over a century. From the supply of aggregate materials, hot mix asphalt, and concrete to the construction of roads and bridges, we do it all. You've seen our trucks, and now we want to hire you. APAC in Salina is growing, and we are hiring for all positions. From truck drivers to mechanics, general laborers, and construction, APAC has your next career. For more details, visit the job links page at salinapost.com. Great pay and benefits, APAC is an equal opportunity employer.
When does normal acute pain become abnormal chronic pain? Chronic pain can be one of two types, nociceptive and neuropathic. Each type differs based on what causes it, what it feels like, and what treatments may relieve it. Neuropathic pain can often be managed by a therapy called neurostimulation or spinal cord stimulation. If you suffer from chronic pain, ask your primary care physician for a referral to the Salina Pain Clinic. Our pain specialist will discuss the right options to manage your pain. Online at salinapainclinic.org.
Back here at Minneapolis High School, halftime of the Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Game of the Week presented by Bennington State Bank. A couple of finals for you as we check the area scoreboard. Russell's girls defeat Plainville tonight 57-22. Also, the Clifton Clyde girls beat Rural Vista 68-23. Some games going on tomorrow that we will be keeping tabs on and have coverage on. Busy Friday night for the Eagle Network on KINA and also live stream video on Salina Post. We will have the Southeast of Saline Trojans with their home opener. They will be taking on the Beloit Trojans in a league opener in the NCAA. Also, we'll have Salina South and Salina Central playing at Mabee Arena on the campus of Kansas Wesleyan University. Those games also will be with live stream video on Salina Post with Tyler Henry. And we will also have action from the Irish Classic Tournament with Adam Coulter. He will have 4 games tomorrow. From Chapman, he will start out with Sacred Heart playing Rossville and Chapman playing Bishop Ward. It will be girls and guys on both sides of things. So 4 straight games here on Salina Post from the Irish Classic Tournament tomorrow. In a busy, busy time getting games in before the holiday break. And right here, it is Minneapolis leading the Bennington Bulldogs in girls varsity play 33-9. Affordable and reliable high-speed internet is no longer nice to have. It is a necessity for individuals, families, and businesses to compete, communicate, and thrive in today's world. Twin Valley's state-of-the-art fiber broadband network makes Bennington and soon Minneapolis among the first areas in the nation to get 2 gigabit per second symmetrical speeds. You can learn more by visiting twinvalley.com. They are a proud supporter of area high school athletes. Also, Joe Guillory at L&L Advisors. You can see Joe for consulting on Medicare supplements, insurance plans, prescription plans, and more. They're full of tons of great advice, and more than that, L&L Advisors, they're folks you know. Call Joe and the gang at L&L Advisors to get more information and more good advice with 3 locations. Back to action here in the third quarter, 33-9. Obviously a big hole here for the Bennington Bulldogs. Russ, what do you want to see from Bennington in this third quarter?
I think you got to chip away at it. You got to play good defense. I don't say you play bad defense. That was going to be my next thing. You got to stop turning the ball over, as they're going to get Rory Miles right there with a double dribble. So you're 19 seconds into this second half, and you turn the ball over already.
12 turnovers so far for Bennington. That was the first one of the second half on their first possession. 30 seconds into the third quarter, Minneapolis with the basketball. Lob pass inside to Deronay. Back to the basket. She is triple teamed. Ball squirts free, and now Shoup has it. Shoup all the way to the cup. Leaves one high and long, and a foul will send Maggie Shoup to the free throw line.
And more importantly, I believe that's going to be on Tamron Watson, and I think that is her 4th foul. So she picks up under a minute, picks up foul number 4 to start the second half to send Shoup with a great little move right there about the 15-foot mark. A little shot fake, 2 dribbles, goes up, gets 2 free throws, and makes the first one.
Missed her first 2 of the night, got that one to go home. Now she's 1 of 3, and possibly, I'm just guessing here, one of the last comments leaving the huddle for Tamron Watson from the coaching staff of Bennington is, see how long you can play with these fouls. It wasn't very long. Now she has 4.
Yeah, and head coach Tracy Pifo is going to leave her in the game here, as it looks like now we're going to get a sub over as that second free throw is missed.
Ball on the floor. It's going to go to the baseline. A couple of Lions gambling after it, and boy, it looked like they made contact there. And they're going to say, we have blood. So they're going to, it looked like maybe the knee of Shoup went right against the face of her teammate there.
I think that's, nope, I thought it was Weatherman, but it's going to be Josie Schrader. Yeah, they just a good hustle play. Right there's Minneapolis. We've seen this multiple times, Devin. Just they're flying around to the basketball regardless. Offense, defense, rebounding, wherever, just out hustling this Bennington Lady Bulldogs team at the start.
Now everybody's in a scramble drill to get the blood off the floor. As usual, from protocol, they send both teams to the benches, and they're going to wait and clean this up. So a lot of attention played here. 34-9. Free throw is all we have so far for scoring of this game, and really an unfortunate injury there to Josie Schrader as she got caught by friendly fire by, looked like a knee of one of her teammates, Maggie Shoup. Caught that right in the face, and she immediately now went to the locker room, and we're looking for cleanup.
I think this might be, they're acting like, or maybe that this is the first time there's ever been blood on a court before. You would think they would have this stuff at the scores table by now. Of course, it's not just here. I'm not just saying it's here. You see it everywhere you go.
Well, we also say that it's preseason for everybody.
Yeah, there you go.
34-9 here, our score. Man, that game coming up, I think you and I are both really looking forward to seeing the Bennington Bulldogs play. And not that we're not looking forward to seeing Minneapolis, but Bennington is one of those teams in the area. They are really looking to excel this year and go to the next level, right? Over the last couple of years, we've seen the Southeast Upsaline Trojans on the guys' side just kind of be that if you don't make it back to state tournament, your season was probably a disappointment type of team. I think it's that way this year with Bennington. They went to the state tournament in Class 2A a year ago, and boy, they have a lot of really good talent back on that team. We know how good of a job Curtis Pickering does all season long with these guys. Just watching their JV team earlier today dismantle Minneapolis, their JV team is as fundamentally sound as a lot of JV teams that I've seen in recent history.
And that, you're right, that goes right back to the coaching staff and, being disciplined, just doing your job and trusting your teammates to do the job they're supposed to do. But you talk about bringing back all those players and players they've had before. You got guys like Kean Wilson that you're going to see, and the Eli Lawson, who is a very, very talented senior, and the height on this team is something else. They got a guy in their JV, he's 6'8", and he just dominated there for a 6-7 minute stretch in that JV game. So
yeah, they can go 6'5", 6'7" across their front line in their starting group, and boy, it is a team that we're really looking forward to watching here in the second game of our doubleheader. Cleanup wrapping up here along the baseline. It will be Bennington basketball. And also, not only did we have Josie Schrader leave, but Brady Weatherman also has a Kleenex in her right nostril now. So Minneapolis getting a little banged up here to start the second half in the first minute.
Another turnover right there on that inbounds by Bennington.
Here's Shoup driving on the left-hand baseline, pulls up and scores. She's so good at that move. Maggie Shoup now in double digits with 11.
Yeah, and that just little up and under move. She's really good from anywhere inside of 15 feet with that shot fake, one dribble, and just goes right to the rack, just goes into contact instead of shying away from it.
1 minute gone by. Bennington testing the right-hand side. Macy McClure over there. She's going to back off now as Weatherman comes over defensively. Lob pass up over the top. Rory Miles will try it from a long distance. That ball off the rim, going out of bounds, and back to the Minneapolis Lions.
Yeah, just Bennington, just a lid on both baskets on whatever end they're shooting on, just unable to put the ball through the rim.
Raylan Robinson came in for Josie Schrader when she went to the locker room. Here's Weatherman going to the basket and a block up high. Lawson thought she had it clean, but they're going to say she got Brady Weatherman with the body, and that will send the one-nostriled Brady Weatherman to the free throw line.
Yeah, just a good block right there up top, but you got to be able to control your body and going up. So the verticality rule that gets thrown around a lot, jump up and go with them, put one hand up, but she just unable to stop as that first free throw goes in for Weatherman.
Weatherman's first free throw of the second half. She was 2 of 3 in the first half, 11 points so far for Brady Weatherman. Second free throw on the way, looked just like the first as it splashes home through the net. A dozen now for Brady Weatherman. Here comes Bennington up the right-hand sideline. Now the basketball into the backcourt, and it's going to go back to Minneapolis. 3 turnovers in 4 possessions for Bennington, and head coach Tracy Pifo has seen enough. He wants a timeout to talk about this. 6:15 left to go here in the third quarter, and we will keep it right here. And boy, this Minneapolis team, you talk about not being comfortable, not being complacent, coming out with a big lead. They are right back where they started this game, and that is just being terrors on the defensive end.
Yeah, that full court pressure is relentless right now, getting Bennington to just turn the ball over and over again.
Sage Products of Salina is your supplier for janitorial products for your business or home. From paper towels to soap and items from ceiling to floor, you'll see Sage Products everywhere you go in local schools, including Kansas Wesleyan University. You can get the same home field advantage at your home or office by visiting sageselects.com. One of the great products Sage Selects has, and it's that time of year, I hate to say it, of course, it was 65 today, so it's hard to focus on that. They have a great ice melt product that will just change your life. It's safe for asphalt. It's safe for concrete. You want to prevent accidents around your home or business, and it is at a very, very nice price option. Contact Sage Selects and ask them about their premium ice melt product.
Maybe some Sage Selects being used on that little cleanup we had right there.
Could be. Minneapolis will get the basketball in here to the backcourt. McClure has it. She nearly lost it, though. Miles on her defensively. Now they'll play it back to the middle of the floor as Shoup comes out and help. That's really where Maggie Shoup is such a valuable asset. You touched on it a little bit in the first half, but she's as much of a ball handler as she is a post player. But she settles in at that 4 or 5 spot. Well, she can play all over the floor. She rises up and shoots on the left-hand side.
Yeah, and that one was by her running mate, Micah Darnay, coming out to the three-point line, getting it in a great feed inside. A great 1-2, 1-1 contact or combo right there between Shoup and Darnay.
If you want to be that full-court type of team that Brian Weatherman loves, I mean, this is the type of squad you want. Athletic, everybody can handle the ball, can get after it on defense with the press, and right now they have a 31-point lead.
Yeah, and right there a foul on Brady Weatherman, picking up her first foul of the game.
Bennington with the basketball. The Minneapolis students getting into it. Here's a little hesitation play, and Rory Miles got him with the hezzy move as she scores her first basket of the night. And 40-11. Here's Shoup, though, back down the floor. Blocked and taken away by Lawson. Bennington has it back. Miles up the right-hand sideline. Looking for help now. She killed her dribble. She's going to find Bartlett, though, who will go to the baseline and nearly turn it over, but somehow it stays with the Dogs. Back out to Miles. Three-pointer on the way. Short. Lands right into the lap, though, of a teammate. Taylon Jilka saved it for Bennington. And now out of bounds off Minneapolis. It will stay with the Bulldogs underneath their own basket.
A good set right there and a couple good shots by Bennington. Much better job getting the offensive rebound right there, as you're going to have a 3 from Jilka in the corner, and it just misses, but another offensive rebound.
Bennington getting after it here, saving some possessions on the offensive end. Here's Miles hopping through a couple of defenders. That shot up at the backboard, no good. Miles, though, gets it back on the rebound from her teammate. Again, it's Taylon Jilkin there, a couple offensive boards. Eventually, Minneapolis pulls it out. Racing to the other end, the Lions stripped away, and a turnover. The first one of the half on Minneapolis. Miles on the other end. She's attacked from behind, and a foul called, I believe. Coming from behind, Coach Brian Weatherman can't believe this call, as it's a foul called on one of his guards, and it's going to be Brady Weatherman.
Yeah, and Brady kind of got stuck right there. You're in that spot where you're chasing from behind, and you hear the wolf call, so the defender tries to cross it over. She got just enough of it, and then I think reached in at the last minute to try to maybe corral it, get a jump ball, and just the official saw enough of where she got in the body or the arm and picked up her second foul of the quarter.
Couple of substitutions here for Minneapolis. Bailey Randall Hurt into the game for the Lions. There's a three-pointer by Bartlett for Bennington. That's no good. Now a ball on the floor. And I believe that's Josie Schrader. She's wearing 35, and I think she is in there now after having blood. Yeah, that is Josie, it looks like. She changed numbers, had to change jerseys.
Yeah, Addison Abel also into the game for Minneapolis, and Coach Weatherman's going to get a full timeout right here, up 40-11.
Biggest lead of the day so far. Actually, 31 was the biggest lead, pardon me, as they led 40-9 at one point halfway through this third quarter here.
So you've coached basketball. We've all been around it. If you're Tracy Pifo right now, the head coach of Bennington, and your girls obviously see you're down 40-11, what are you telling your girls right here? What do you want to see from them?
I think this early on in the season, everybody has about a 6-game series before the holiday break, and then the state doesn't let you practice like you used to over the holidays. You are limited on practices, so it's not an everyday type of thing. Like back when we were in high school, probably we practiced every day but on Christmas. I mean, it was one of those deals. You can't do that anymore. But I am a firm believer that habits, both good and bad, are all formed before the holiday break, because you take some of the stuff that you're doing in these games and you start practicing like that over the holiday break, and then all of a sudden you know the calendar's turned, it's 2024, and you're still doing that same stuff. And as I said, that's good and bad. It's either being careless with the basketball or it's being really solid on defense. Those things that you are implanting in yourself and your team is taking on right now could affect the rest of your season all the way through till March.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think you got to take this game and you got to split this last quarter and a half up almost into another game, and take it as it is, as you're going to get a foul right here on Bennington. But you have to, I think now you're at the point in this game with 4:12 left to go. You split these last 12 minutes up into 3-minute quarters and just try to take the small victories and get something going where you can get a little momentum.
Rory Miles has just picked up her third foul, so Bennington will have to monitor that. Minneapolis sideline inbounds. McClure has it. She'll play it out to Abel. Now back to McClure. Right-hand side to Schrader. Schrader lob pass back to the inside. Randall Hurt fell down there. Now it's back out to Schrader. She's going to step through a defender and be fouled and go to the free throw line.
What I liked about that play is Bailey Randall Hurt got it and was triple teamed, and instantly, as soon as she faced the basket, saw far side wide open after they collapsed, got the quick ball movement, and got Josie Schrader the ball at the point where she was able to go in for a layup and get 2 free throws.
And now I just mentioned 3 fouls on Rory Miles. She just picked up number 4. So 2 Bennington guards with 4 fouls. There's still 3:53 left to go here in the third quarter. First free throw here by Josie Schrader is up and good. She has given Minneapolis a 30-point lead.
And now you're checking out Rory Miles and bringing back in Tamron Watson, who also has 4 fouls.
I say put them both on the floor together and see who fouls out first.
And this may be a test. You can see how well they play when they get in foul trouble.
Second free throw missed by Josie Schrader. She tried to get her own rebound, and now Bennington will pull it away. 3:45 left to go here in the third. Basketball with Tamron Watson over on the left-hand side. She's going to throw it away into the passing lane that time. On that cross-court pass came Maggie Shoup. Minneapolis up the floor. Here's Abel with a jumper. That one might have been partially deflected. Ball out of bounds off of a Bennington Bulldog, and it will stay here with the Minneapolis Lions. 3:30 left to play in the third. Brady Weatherman pops up off the bench. Micah Deronay up off the bench. And also
Raylan Robinson.
Raylan Robinson up off the bench. It's one nice thing that Coach Weatherman has here at Minneapolis, too, is some depth, right? If you're going to play this style, you got to have the bodies to do it, and he does. Inside, Robinson with a little jump stop. She'll kick it out to Weatherman for 3. That won't go. Deronay, though, saves it on the offensive rebound for Minneapolis. Bobbled momentarily, now back out to Brady Weatherman. 3:16 left to go. Minneapolis trying to expand on their 30-point lead. Here's a leaner, shot up by Shoup. That's no good. Rebound taken in by Bennington. It's Alyssa Wolf with it. She plays it off to Tamron Watson. Back to Wolf. Elbow jumper from the left. Off the back rim, no good. Watson comes crashing in, and they're going to say she traveled with the basketball as she fell to the floor.
And that's probably a break for Bennington to get a travel on that, because Tamron Watson came crashing in hard and would have picked up her 5th foul right there.
2:59 left to play here in the third. In the backcourt, Raylan Robinson has it. She's going to speed past the defender, leave it off for Micah Deronay. I don't know that Micah was ready for that one, and goes between her legs and back to the Bennington Bulldogs. Here's Watson all the way to the cup. She can't get the right-handed layup to go off the window right, and it's going to be rebounded by Deronay. That's what I love about Micah Deronay. She turns it over on one end, runs the whole length of the floor, gets a rebound, and it turns into a break, and another 2 points for Maggie Shoup.
And yet another turnover on the inbounds play right here. It looks like Josie Schrader's the only Minneapolis Lion and 3 Bennington Bulldogs down here, and she's able to get the steal and then get a foul right there for Bennington. So she's going to get 2 more free throws for Josie Schrader.
Jordan Bartlett guilty of the foul. That is the quarter limit. That is the 5th team foul here in this quarter. So Minneapolis will have a chance to practice some free throws. the rest of this quarter. Josie Schrader to the line first for these bonus attempts, and she sinks the first. So far, Josie Schrader in this game, pretty good from the free throw line. She's 4 out of 5.
A couple subs coming in for the game for both teams. Macy McClure coming back in, Dossett coming back in.
Schrader missed her second free throw like she did last time. She did get her own rebound this time. Can't get the leaner from the left-hand side to go, and a ball on the floor is tied up. Arrow in favor of Bennington. 2:22 left to play here in a marathon third quarter.
And it wasn't 6 minutes ago. Josie Schrader's running off, just blood dripping out of her nose, and she's the only one right there on the floor going for that to cause that jump ball.
Here's Tambrin Watson driving to the paint. She's going to leave it out for a three-pointer left-hand side. That's no good. And Brady Weatherman with the rebound. Up the floor to Schrader. Schrader inside, Deronay. Perfect fast break. And a big, big applaud by Brian Weatherman of his young ladies. Up the floor, left-hand side for 2.
And you have to reward, if you're a guard playing this game, the 4 and 5 post players. You get another turnover right here, running the floor with your guards to get that layup.
Here's Weatherman saving it from going out of bounds at the baseline. Plays it out to Shooter. That won't go. Loose ball. It's a run out here for Bennington. Bartlett picks it up. Weatherman, though, there to challenge her. And Weatherman is going to keep the layup from being made, though there will be free throws coming up here for Jordan Bartlett. So 2 free throws coming up for Jordan Bartlett. Brady Weatherman is just taking on her third foul. That is the third team foul in this quarter for Minneapolis.
You go back and touch on that just a little bit more. When you get those defensive rebounds as a post player, that 4-5 player where Deronay has been the first one down the floor multiple times tonight between her and Shoop, who is checking back into the game right now. Between the two of them, the way they see the floor and know where to go on the floor based on where the ball's at in the fast break is very, very impressive.
First free throw was missed by Jordan Bartlett. Second one. There's movement along the lane. Bartlett made it. If not, it was going to be a lane violation, I feel like, against Minneapolis, but it won't matter as Bartlett makes the free throw. Bennington so far tonight, 3 of 5 from the free throw line. 46-12. 90 seconds left to go here in the third period. 1:25 now. Deronay up top. Over to the right. They swing it back around, ends up with Shoop. As you said, just came back into the game. Looks like maybe a quality possession here requested by head coach Brian Weatherman of his Minneapolis ladies to close the quarter. Maybe the last minute that the varsity is going to see tonight.
And you run this 5-out offense and cut for 30 seconds to a minute, the defense is liable to lack on one side and you'll be able to get a cut, but clearly a set right here and a good set being ran by Minneapolis.
Just big old motion, right? Pass and screen away, a little bit of a passing game type of look. And right now they're just making Bennington work on defense. And as I said, this may be the last minute that the varsity sees here tonight. They're going to turn around and play again on Saturday to round out this tournament. Now here's a steal. Miles got in the passing lane. 30 seconds left to play. Rory Miles to the cup, and she is fouled and will earn free throws. Rory Miles has 2 points here in this quarter. She'll get to maybe add to it here at the free throw line as she was fouled going to the rack. That foul on Macy McClure is her third.
Yeah, that's the tough part about that, right? You run that offense. This is the first free throw is missed, but you run that offense for 45 seconds to a minute just passing around, and just one pass, I wouldn't say it was a lazy pass, but a softer pass allowed Rory Miles to get in there and get the steal.
First free throw barely hit the front of the rim. Second one hits more to the front rim. They're both bad, though, and now a lane violation is going to be called on Minneapolis. There's been several times tonight where Minneapolis has been early into the paint, and that time it's going to end up being a redo here for Miles.
And I think that one came from outside the arc. The person from outside the three-point line has to wait till it hits the rim. Clearly that one went in to box out the shooter before.
All 3 free throws hit the front of the rim. None of them count. 25 seconds left to go here for the Lady Lions of Minneapolis in this third quarter. See if they can get a quality shot here before the buzzer sounds. 14 seconds. Schrader showed a three, but she keeps it in her pocket. Now plays it off to Shoop. She lost the basketball. Taken away here by Bennington. Now it ends up in a arrow situation. Now Bennington on the floor has sole possession, and now the arrow will keep it with Minneapolis underneath their own basket.
And once again,
it's going to go Bennington.
So Minneapolis came on the outside to get that ball to tie it up, and she was laying out of bounds. So it looks like Bennington's just going to run this clock out right here.
And that will be the end of the third quarter with Minneapolis expanding on their halftime lead. They now lead at the end of the third, 46-12. The Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Area Game of the Week, presented by Bennington State Bank, returns for the fourth quarter after this on Salina Post.
The winter season may be here, but paintball fun is still waiting for you at Elite Sports. Elite Sports Paintball Complex, located 5 miles south of Salina, is open for special winter hours. Get the group together and visit Elite Sports on Saturdays and Sundays this winter from 11 until 4. Elite Sports features low-impact paintballs for the beginners or little ones, so everyone can have more fun. Visit them online at SalinaPaintballComplex.com. Elite Sports Paintball Complex, open and waiting for you this weekend.
The Ram Black Friday sales event is your chance to save big all month long. Hi, this is Dane at Marshall Motors in Salina. Get 10% off MSRP on 23 Ram 1500 models. That's a discount of up to $13,000 off. On the heavier side, get up to $15,000 off a 23 Ram 2500. Shop everything Ram and find your new truck at the Black Friday sales event at Marshall Motors in Salina and online at marshallmotor.com.
46-12 here at Minneapolis High School. It's the host team, the Lady Lions, leading so far here in this game. Expect a running clock here in this entire fourth quarter. But Minneapolis, though, turning it over to start the quarter. And a layup missed there by Tamron Watson. They said she got her own rebound, but she was standing out of bounds while she did so.
Yeah, it's kind of the way it's went offensively for Bennington. They've had some good looks, but they've just been unable to drop it through to get anything.
A big sign of early season basketball, Brian Weatherman leaving his starters on the floor. Here's a shot by McClure on the right-hand side. That bounces off no good. McClure gets it back now. Try a three-pointer on the outside. That's no good. She missed near and far. Rebound taken in by Tamron Watson. Watson struggling with the handle. She comes across the timeline. Now she gets it wrangled up. Plays to Chloe Dossett. Dossett had a three-pointer in the first half of this game. Watson inside, a little 12-foot runner, won't go, off the spin move, and it's going to be cleaned up here by McClure. Up the floor to Weatherman. She missed a left-handed layup, and now a dual possession as two players go crashing to the floor, and the arrow in favor of Bennington.
And once again, that player for Minneapolis being Micah Darnay, just really impressed with the three quarters so far that she has put together, as it looks like maybe Tamron Watson kind of got twisted up a little bit with Darnay, and it looks like now you're going to get wholesale substitutions for the Minneapolis Lions.
Riley Robinson checking into the game, along with the return of Bailey Randall Hurt. Also into the game, Addison Abel, Atlee Smith, got one more out there. The returner, Raylan Robinson. 6.5 minutes left to go. Here's a long shot put up by Bennington. That's no good. Rebound underneath, and it's going to be saved. Atlee Smith was able to get that rebound for Minneapolis. Now a near steal by Bennington, and a foul will be called here on the Bulldogs. Madison Simmons guilty of the foul.
Her first foul of the game. So the girls came out off the bench and jumped right into that press, and Weatherman kind of backing them off right there.
Riley Robinson had it at the high post. She lost it. And then the ball squirts out of bounds, and it's going to be the second turnover of the quarter for Minneapolis. Southeast of Slane's girls in the NCAA, they had a league winning streak that lasted over a couple of different seasons. Minneapolis was able to break that streak last year. Kind of looks like the same Minneapolis team, like they are ready to go already here early on in the season. This game will move them to 3-0, Russ, and they're coming off of, as I said, a disappointing end to their season last year. It wasn't a disappointing season. They were 15-6, but the end of it came really abrupt. They lost in the first sub-state game here on their home floor, and they didn't like that at all.
Yeah, and you go back to that winning streak that the Southeast girls had in the NCAA. don't do a lot of basketball games with you, sir, but I was on the call with you in that game, and these names, a lot of them are the same for this Minneapolis Lions team.
Yeah, your photo's still on the wall out on campus of Gypsum that you were there that night. 46-12. Here's a foul inside on Bennington. That will send Bailey Randall Hurt, 5'9" freshman, to the free throw line.
Taylon Jilka picking up her first foul of the game, second team foul as the clock continues to run, and it will tick under 4:40 by the time these free throws are shot.
First free throw up and no good. Clock continues to run here during the stoppage in action during the free throws. Stay with us after this game. We'll recap this game, go over scoring for you, then also take a brief pause and make our transition into the second game of our doubleheader tonight. Will be the boys contest as Bailey Randall Hurt makes the second free throw on her trip to the line. 47-12. There's Bennington driving towards the baseline, and a foul will be called here on Minneapolis. This one will be ticketed to Atlee Smith, the 5'5" sophomore.
Bennington going back to the bench, bringing back in Addison Gillett as well as Alyssa Wolf.
Inbounds for the Bulldogs. Nearly taken away. It's going to be saved now. Three-pointer, left-hand side, no good. Rebound saved, though, by Bennington. Out to Rory Miles. She'll try the three. That one's no good. Boy, that front of the rim has just been beaten up tonight by Bennington shooting. They are ice cold from the floor. They just cannot get that ball a chance to go in by getting it over the front of that rim.
Yeah, just unable to put the ball through the hole as it looks like Gillett's going to pick up kind of a cheap foul out here on Atlee Smith.
Clock continuing to melt down here. 3:20 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Continuous clock with the 30-plus point lead built by Minneapolis. 47-12 is our score. High post, Riley Robinson off the inbounds. Now a ball poked out of bounds. It will stay with Minneapolis. Got to give Bennington credit, too. I think they realize, and their coach realizes, Tracy Pifo, that this is also building blocks for them, too. Things aren't going their way tonight, but they can definitely build some things as they move through this season here.
Yeah, and you get a steal right there, and a wide-open layup is just missed right there. And it's just kind of the way the nights went. But these girls that are out there for Bennington are getting turnovers. You know, they're still playing hard.
And you're somewhere in the middle, right? I mean, you're taking it on the chin tonight to a 3A Minneapolis school.
Yeah.
But you beat the tar out of 1A Minneapolis on Tuesday night.
Solomon.
You're 2A. You're somewhere in the middle, right? So
right.
You got to. I think that's the indication of how these two games have gone so far this week.
So you look for that last game there on Saturday, and this Minneapolis is going to go up against Solomon, and this Bennington team held Solomon to 5 points on Tuesday. And now this Minneapolis team has held Bennington to 12 points tonight.
Yeah, that's not going to be fun to watch probably. But, you know, on the other side of that coin, though, if you're Bennington now, you're going to go into the gym against 2A El Saline. And that El Saline team is a team that you should probably beat, you would think. You could go into that, though, and if you get a win, you come out of this tournament with a 2-1 record in the tournament. Your only loss was to 3A Minneapolis, and I think that's positive sunshine for the Bulldogs.
But don't you, early on in the season, you kind of want to get these games and be tested. You see it.
Yep.
You see it in football all the time where 2A steps up and plays 3A, or maybe goes out of class and plays a 4A game. You know, some schools different than the others, play up, play down, but you see those games early on, and that sets your tone for where you're at.
Absolutely. Caitlin Warlock at the free throw line. She made her first free throw. Second one bounces off the front of the rim. Down to 1:11 left to play. Bennington with the basketball back. They're racing to the other side. Addison Gillett plays it to the right. Madison Simmons shot up on the left now after they swang it through. Inside, put back, won't go down. And 3 Bulldogs suffocating a Minneapolis player as Haley Nichols was fighting for her life in there. And we're going to go all the way to the other end and shoot free throws, time permitting. 45 seconds on the clock, and it is running.
Yeah, I think you'll get these 2 free throws off here. And if you're Minneapolis and Coach Weatherman, you go into the locker room after this game, I think you will say, you know, it's a good win, obviously. Some things you would probably see to work on is they turned the ball over quite a bit tonight. Yes, Bennington turned it over quite a bit more, but there's still things that have been lackadaisical. But I think right now, as both free throws are missed, but the play out of Micah Darnay and Shoop on your inside have been extremely, extremely well tonight.
If there's a better 1-2 combo in their league, I want to see it. As those two inside working, Shoop and Darnay leading the way. And then when Weatherman's hitting from the outside, you have Schrader hitting from the outside, you have Mason McClure distributing the basketball all over. That is definitely a great combination, as Minneapolis is going to win it tonight 48-12. The Lady Lions of Minneapolis now move to 3-0 on the season. Bennington will drop to 1-2. They will both go to Salina and play on campus of Kansas Wesleyan University at Maybe Arena to round out this tournament coming up on Saturday. When we come back on Postgame, we'll have final stats from you. Also have a smart play of the game brought to you by Smart Insurance, and we'll put the cap on this one. Once again, it's a victory for the Minneapolis Lady Lions as they defend their home floor on their first game of the season, 48-12, right here on Salina Post.
The hours of drills, the pre-dawn workouts, the hundreds of laps. It takes hard work, passion, and drive to do what you love. When you're sidelined by injury, Salina Regional Sports Medicine is just as committed and works just as hard to get you back in the game. Salina Regional Sports Medicine, 785-452-7366. SalinaRegionalSportsMedicine.com.
It's the holidays, the most glorious time of the year. Friends and family coming to your home to celebrate with dinner, drinks, and that terrible, horrendous smell. What is that? That is your septic system backing up into your home and making your holiday stink. If you haven't had your septic system pumped out and cleaned in the last 3 years, you're asking for trouble. Call Salina Septic Service today, and we will make sure your holiday is jolly and bright. Salina Septic Service, wishing you and yours a very Merry Christmas and worry-free holiday season.
It's the holiday season, and that means holiday gifts for you from Salina Medical Aesthetics. Now through the end of the year, purchase 1 syringe of filler and get 10 units of Botox as your holiday gift. Cruise into winter with the SME Brighten and Tighten Laser Package. 4 dye VL and 4 clear lift treatments for face and neck. Just $2,500. Botox is also 10% off. Treat yourself or those you love with specials and gift cards from Salina Medical Aesthetics. See more online with social media and salinamedesthetics.org.
The Bennington State Bank proudly supports local sports and wants each student to know that their hard work and talent is noticed and appreciated. At Bennington State Bank, they care about local communities and are committed to fostering long-term relationships through the delivery of excellent customer service, integrity, and fairness. From helping local businesses to supporting community youth and nonprofits to helping you purchase your dream home or invest in your future, Bennington State Bank is here to help. Give them a call to experience exceptional banking with hometown service. Bennington State Bank, your trusted hometown bank. Member FDIC.
48-12, the final score. The Minneapolis ladies remain undefeated on the season, 3-0 now. Bennington drops to 1-2 when Minneapolis got the big victory here. Let's go over scoring for you. Leading all scorers tonight, Maggie Shoop with 15 points. All of those came in the first 3 quarters of play. Right along in her sidecar, though, Brady Weatherman, the Minneapolis guard, with 12 points. 8 points from Micah Darnay, 7 points from Josie Schrader, 2 points from Macy McClure, 2 points from Raylan Robinson, a single free throw out of Caitlin Horlock, and also a free throw out of Bailey Randall Hurt. For the Bennington Bulldogs, 3 points for Chloe Dossett, 2 points for Tambrin Watson, 2 points for Rory Miles, 2 points for Alyssa Wolf, and 2 points for Ava Lawson. Bennington shot 3 of 8 from the free throw line, while Minneapolis shot 13 out of 23. 20 turnovers for Bennington tonight, and 10 turnovers for the Minneapolis Lions. That's your scoring recap, brought to you by Marshall Motors. Black Friday deals are still going on through the end of the month. Go on into Marshall Motors and pick the Ram truck, maybe the Chrysler or Dodge car of your choice. Marshall Motors, a proud supporter of area high school athletes. Also time now for our Smart Play of the Game, brought to you by Smart Insurance with locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington. Russ, hit me up with your Smart Insurance Smart Play of the Game.
I think it's got to go the play, maybe plays, but I think it's the play of Shoop and Darnay in that 1-2 punch at the high-low and how well they see the floor from that 4 and 5 spot regardless of where they're at. So I think you have to go with Maggie Shoup, Micah Darnay, with that 1-2 combo as the play of the game.
I agree. Those two, as I said, if there's a better 1-2 punch on the inside in the league that they play in, I want to see it. That's a dangerous, dangerous combination right there as Minneapolis moves their record to 3-0 on the season with a 48-12 victory over the Bennington Lady Bulldogs. Want to thank Salina Septic Service, also Commercial Tire Centers, Elite Sports Paintball Complex. Today would have been a great day to play paintball out at Elite Sports, and also APAC Shears. You see APAC Shears out on the highways doing major road construction. They can also do residential construction. If you need a driveway redone, contact the experts at APAC Shears. They can knock it out in a heartbeat at a great price. Also, Joe Guillory at L&L Advisors and Twin Valley. Game number 2 of our doubleheader is coming up. After a brief pause here, we're going to step away for about 10 minutes, and then we will come back and we will have pregame for the guys contest. Bennington at Minneapolis, and it's coming up here on the Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Area Game of the Week, brought to you by Bennington State Bank. Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Area Game of the Week presented by Bennington State Bank. We have a good one for you on tap here, and it is the Tri-County Tournament on the boys' side. Bennington playing against the Minneapolis Lions. It's the home opener for Minneapolis this year. So far, John Darrow's team off to an 0-2 start. They lost at Inman 27-37 in the first game of the season last Friday. Then on Tuesday night, they went into Brookville and lost to El Saline 29-60. Last year, this Minneapolis team 3-18, and they are a young squad once again in this 2023-24 edition of the Lions. They only have one senior on the team, and that is Ryan Parks. What makes it even rougher for this team, 6 of their first 7 are on the road. This is their only home game in their first 7 games. They will play a neutral site game on Saturday at Mabee Arena at Kansas Wesleyan University. But 6 of their first 7 on the road. They won't be back here at home until January 5th when they go into league play and start the 2024 portion of their season against the Southeast of Saline Trojans. On the Bennington side of things, 19-5 on the season. They qualified for the 2A state tournament last year under the direction of 8th-year head coach Curtis Pickering. They are ranked number 5 right now in Class 2A by the Kansas Basketball Coaches Association. So far, things pretty good for the Bennington Bulldogs and Coach Pickering. They beat Sylvan Lucas in their first game of the season by 50, 71-21. Then they beat Solomon on Tuesday night, 64-18. This is a Bennington team. They are athletic. They are big. They get up and down the floor. They are fundamentally sound. And I know we're excited to see the Bulldogs in action here tonight.
And I think you got a good 1-2 punch in guard play in this game. Really 2 guards, Keen Wilson, Talon Pickering, but you go inside where they get big, and they get big fast. Eli Lawson, a 6'7" senior, and then another senior at 6'4" who plays well above 6'4" in Mr. Smith.
Yes, sir. Getting ready here for the starting lineups. I want to remind you, Twin Valley is now offering up to 2 gigabits per second symmetrical fiber internet in Bennington, and construction is also underway to bring fiber to Minneapolis. You can learn more at twinvalley.com. Here's the national anthem.
National anthem right there by the Minneapolis High School band is. Devin, what do you got for starters?
Sir,
in this game?
I have good starters for this game. Let's first go over those for the Minneapolis Lions. For the homestanding Lions here in their home opener, they will start Grant Rice, a 6-foot sophomore. Also Zach Nelson, a 5'9" junior. 6-foot sophomore Owen Just is also a starter, along with the lone senior on this Minneapolis Lions team, Ryan Parks at 6'1". 6'2" sophomore Dalton Kruger rounds out the starting 5 for head coach John Darrow in his 9th season. So far, Minneapolis off to an 0-2 start. They're looking for their first win of the year. For the Bennington Bulldogs, they will start Kean Wilson. Wilson, a 6'1" junior. Along with him, Talon Pickering, a talented senior at 5'8". Paige Rodenbeck, a junior at 5'11", along with Mr. Smith, a 6'4" senior, and Eli Lawson, another big body on the inside, a 6'7" senior. And right there, when you look at the matchups, you know this Minneapolis team, they are height lacking They are a very small team, although they are an athletic team. They will fly around, but I'm telling you what, with Eli Lawson and Mr. Smith on the inside, going at 6'4", 6'6", 7", it is going to be a big, big task for this Lions squad here tonight.
Yeah, and you're right. They're going to have to battle. They're going to have to block out. You're going to have to put a body on a body and eliminate. I don't know if you can say eliminate second chance points with this team. We see them fly around. We saw their JV earlier in the night. We caught that game, and they're fundamentally sound. They attack the rim. They rebound well. They block out well. They play defense well. Just an all-around well-coached team. And by any means are we not counting Minneapolis out of this game. You have to play the game. But obviously on paper it looks like Bennington is that team. So Minneapolis does have its work cut out for them, so we're in for a good game.
This Ottawa County Showdown brought to you by L&L Advisors agent Joe Guillory. See Joe for consulting on Medicare supplements, insurance plans, prescription plans, and much, much more. L&L Advisors, your local hometown advisors with 3 locations, 2 of them in Salina and 1 of them in downtown McPherson. You're listening and watching to the Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Game of the Week here on Salina Post with live stream video brought to you by Bennington State Bank. An open house, a holiday Christmas open house tomorrow at the Bennington State Bank in Salina. That will go from 9 until 4. Then next week they will hit their branches in Minneapolis and Bennington. In Minneapolis, the open house is on Wednesday from 9 to 4. And in Bennington, the open house is on Thursday. If you miss both of those, go to Abilene next Friday, December 15th. I want to thank Bennington State Bank for partnering up. They are such a great sponsor of area high school athletics. It will start with Bennington in black, trimmed in gold, and also the Minneapolis Lions in their home whites, trimmed in red and blue. Basketball is up, and it is tipped by Eli Lawson. Bennington starting out on the first possession of the night. Here's a back and forth up top. Now they play it over to the left. Ends up down along the baseline to Lawson. He'll play it back out now to Kean Wilson. Wilson back between the circles. Looks like a reset of offense here by Talon Pickering. Between his legs, he's looking at a 2-3 Minneapolis zone. He'll play it off to the left to Wilson. Now cut through. Wilson, a little bit of a ball fake on a pass. Pulls the trigger from 3. Long rebound taken in by Owen Just. Here come the Lions back the other way, working from right to left as you view it on SalinaPost.com. And a leaner off the window as Owen Just scores the first points of the night.
Yeah, not shying away from the height right there. Owen Just driving that right in, going right up against Eli and going right over the top of him, real soft off the window.
Pickering over to Wilson, gets it back. Now they play it inside, and that's the problem for this Minneapolis team. It's Eli Lawson on the inside, the big man off the window from the left-hand side. Now a strip, and they're going to call a alternate arrow situation. Too many hands on the basketball that time. Nobody had a real possession. They're going to whistle that one dead right away and give the arrow to Minneapolis.
And I think we saw early there, Devin, if you're Minneapolis, you're going to, in that first possession, they were able to push the big guys up in the lane a little bit. That time Eli Lawson caught that one right on the block and just right off the corner of the window.
With a 2-3 heavy zone by Minneapolis when they're on defense, you always have that option of a double team, right? But you're going to give up some looks from the outside if you opt to double team with those 3 front court people along the baseline. There's a three-pointer now pulled by Minneapolis. Owen Just cannot score twice down the floor. And that one's going to take a high bounce out of bounds. It will go over to Bennington, and the Bulldogs will have it coming back the other way.
Yeah, and the guard play right now for Bennington, obviously looking to get that ball inside to Eli Lawson and Smith, and just looking hard right now as Minneapolis is crowding down on that block as they should.
Rodenbeck plays it into Lawson. Lawson looking, trying to play it to Mr. Smith. He is not open though, and he clears out to the other side. Now back into the hands of Pickering. This Bennington team trying to dissect this zone defense being applied here by Minneapolis. Over to the right. Rodenbeck has it. Now back, here's the handoff inside to Lawson. His shot is up, may have been partially deflected, maybe a foul called there. Nonetheless, no whistles. Minneapolis pulls it away. 2 minutes in, Minneapolis reckless to the basket and drawing the foul goes Grant Rice. He has free throws coming up after the first foul of the game.
So far for Minneapolis in the first 2 minutes of this game, I like what they're doing defensively down there. Just make Bennington beat you from the outside. That high percentage shot down low inside the block with Smith and Lawson. Make your guards, Kean Wilson, Pickering, make them guys shoot from the outside and prove that they can beat you from out there.
Kean Wilson guilty of the first foul of the game. Grant Rice to the free throw line, misses the first. He'll get another one here. 6:02 left to go. We are just about 2 minutes into this contest. If you missed it earlier this evening, it was a victorious night for the Minneapolis ladies. They got a big victory to move to 3-0 on the season. Second free throw in there by Grant Rice. 3-2. Minneapolis jumps back out in front here early on. 5:54 left to play, first period. In the corner with the basketball is Pickering. Now a bullet pass down low to Smith. He had to fish it back out of trouble, played out for a three-pointer up there by Pickering. That's no good, and the rebound taken in here by Minneapolis. Owen Just has it. Bounce pass a little bit too hard down low. Great look, and I like the idea. Just put the ball a little bit too saucy down low.
Yeah, put a little too much on it. Led Ryan Parks just enough, but I like the idea right there. I like what Minneapolis tried to do, get down the floor. Ryan Parks kind of leaked in that corner and was making that cut and had a good angle if that bounce pass would have been just a little bit softer.
5:29 left to go here, first period, 3-2. Minneapolis going side to Lawson. He's going to turn on a drop step and dunk it with one hand. Eli Lawson with the flush as he took a monster drop step back into the paint. Now a near steal. Bennington slaps it out of bounds. It will stay with the Lions. 4-3 our score. Bennington leading by 1.
Yeah, and that's twice now where Lawson's caught it within 3 foot of the rim. That one just no dribble, turn around and flush it with one hand. So if you're Minneapolis, you got to continue to push up in that 2-3 zone.
Minneapolis with it, middle of the floor. Spread out here on offense. Swing it to the right-hand side, Zach Nelson. Nelson with some fancy dribbling. Goes down along the baseline to Parks. Parks in a double team. Plays it back up to Grant Rice. Now it's stolen away. Look out. It's going to be showtime for Eli Lawson at the rim with a two-hand jam. The soaring flush by Eli Lawson, who has back-to-back dunks, and he has a half a dozen.
Yeah, just a great steal right there by Lawson. Had a big guy up front on the guard.
Now an air ball sailed over the top of the rim. Here comes Bennington again, 2-on-2. This time it's Mr. Smith on the right wing. He'll play it out to Pickering. Free throw line jumper up off the heel, no good. It's tapped around. Lawson keeps it alive. Now to Smith up off the window, and it won't fall down. Free throws coming up, though, for Bennington's Mr. Smith.
Yeah, and a good job right there by Bennington, but of knowing you got the inside. Mr. Smith gets the ball and kind of takes it, leaks out. Here come Eli Lawson sprinting down the floor. You reward him a little give and go right back to Smith, as that foul's going to be on Grant Rice.
First foul of the game on Rice. Mr. Smith to the free throw line for the first time. Makes his first free throw, and that's the first point for Bennington by somebody other than Eli Lawson. Into the game for the Bulldogs, Isaiah Garrett comes in. He will give Paige Rodenbeck his first spell. Second free throw up and good by Smith. 8-3 our score. It's been a 6-0 run here by Bennington, now turning on a little three-quarter court pressure. Minneapolis nearly lost it right in front of the Bulldog bench. Now they'll play it down low to Zach Nelson. Nelson kicks it back out high, elbow jumper, kisses the rim, no good. Rebound taken in by Lawson. Here they come back the other way. Curtis Pickering up, directing his dogs down the floor. And a ball slapped out of bounds into the Minneapolis bench. It will stay with Bennington here on their offensive end. Ryan Parks came out, had a really brief rest. Kingston Darone came in for him, but that rest for Parks lasted about 12 seconds.
Yeah, it was real short, just enough to sit down and then get right back up, one possession back down the floor.
Bennington with the basketball off the bench. Isaiah Garrett handling it. They're going to kick it out now for a three-pointer in the corner. Too short, no good. That one out of the right hand of Pickering. Now Minneapolis has it. Back the other way. 3:49 left to go here, first quarter. 5-point lead for the Dogs. Minneapolis going to work here on their offensive end. Passing lanes very narrow against this Bennington half-court man-to-man defense. Here's a near steal. Parks, though, saves it for Minneapolis. Finds an open Lion on the inside, and he is served by Mr. Smith. The possession, though, saved by Minneapolis until Eli Lawson takes it off the rim. Back the other way comes Bennington into the middle of the floor, and a drive by Talon Pickering. He'll leave it off for Mr. Smith, who kisses the window on the right-hand side for 2. 4 straight points by Mr. Smith. And now a foul called at center court right in front of the scorer's table on Kean Wilson. That is his second.
How about that pass by Pickering right there to Smith on the inside? That was a blind wraparound, come around, step around the guy, throw it with your right hand when it should be your left, and a perfect bounce pass to Mr. Smith, and he's able to just come up quickly and get that one in.
Paige Rodenbeck comes back into the game. He will spell Kean Wilson here, who has picked up his second foul early on. He has both of the Bennington team fouls. It's an 8-0 run by the Bulldogs. 10-3 the score. 3:05 left to go here first quarter. Here's a pitch out and a three for Minneapolis. No good. Parks, though, saves the possession on the offensive rebound for the Lions. Lions continue to work here on offense. Looking at this Bennington man-to-man defense. Parks on the drive. Gathers the defense, kicks it out. Now a spin move in the lane. Turnaround won't go down. It rattles out, and a rebounding foul will be called on Minneapolis. It goes against Joseph Wohl.
Good offensive set right there for Minneapolis. You're getting good looks. You're just unable to get them to fall. And I think tonight against this Bennington team, you're going to have to get a few of those three-pointers to fall, a few of those contested 15-footers to fall, as those shots inside are going to be tough to come by.
Mr. Smith comes out of the game. He'll take his first break. In for him, Braden Polinsky. Minneapolis stays true to that 2-3 zone. They go inside to Lawson. He's in the short corner, about 7 feet away from the basket, takes one big power dribble, and the move to the front of the rim. He's knocked to the floor, and free throws coming up here for Eli Lawson. Already 6 in the game. This will be his first trip to the free throw line as he gathered the foul on Grant Rice. Now Minneapolis has to be foul aware as Grant Rice has just picked up his second foul.
Yeah, and Dalton Kruger coming back to the table, and you called it a power dribble, and that's Eli Lawson is just kind of doing what he wants down there, being clearly bigger sized and just stronger, probably the strongest person on the floor, and just able to take one dribble and go up strong. What I like about Eli Lawson right there is he caught that about 3 foot off the blocks. He missed the second free throw, but immediately squared up to the basket and knew exactly what he was going to do with it.
Lawson got the first, left the second one open, and it's 11-3 Bennington. 2:20 left to go. Dogs now on defense as Minneapolis goes to work here on the offensive end again. Parks dribbles to Lawson, has it stripped and taken away as he tried to pass it up the floor. Here come the Bulldogs. 2-on-2 break. Minneapolis takes it away. The two teams exchange turnovers here in the first quarter. Here's Parks for three. That one just died off the back of the heel. It's able to be taken in on the rebound by Isaiah Garrett.
And Minneapolis is getting good shots. These are wide open looks that they're getting. They're just not getting them to fall right now. You just got to keep shooting them.
Here's a high entry to Lawson. A lot of hands reaching in. He's able to muscle it out of there and keep the offense flowing here for Bennington. Another near steal, though, by Minneapolis. Boy, you're right. The Lions are being super aggressive here on defense. Bennington now looking back at Curtis Pickering. He is up, waving his finger in the air in a circle motion. He wants him to keep this offense alive here with 1:23 left to go first quarter. Bennington currently on a 9-0 run. See if they can extend it. Three-pointer from the left-hand side. That is no good. Pickering comes up empty.
Kruger doing a good job on that set on Eli Lawson, just kind of bodying him up, just right there disrupting it just enough, as now you're going to get Ryan Parks to run this offense.
Parks up top. It's like he's asking for help here. Now he's going to hand it off. A wild pass over to the right-hand side. And this is going to be a player stepping out of bounds and then coming back in, touching the basketball in Joseph Wohl. That's the third turnover for Minneapolis here in this first period. That will give a chance for a substitution. Kingston Deronay comes into the game. He will replace Joseph Wohl.
Mr. Smith also checking back into the game, giving Eli Lawson probably a 1-minute break here at the end of this first quarter.
Well, you can tell a veteran team that's coming back here for Coach Pickering. He already has his rotation down, substituting, doesn't he? Here's a drive mid-lane. Talon Pickering with the teardrop up and in that rolled over the front of the rim.
And that high post spot is going to be open with as active as these two are out front on that 2-3 zone.
Half a minute left to go, opening quarter, 13-3. First double-digit lead, and it belongs to Bennington. Here's a three-pointer put up by Minneapolis. That's no good. Rebound being fought for. Mr. Smith has it. Nearly taken away by Parks for Minneapolis. Now Bennington up the floor. They mishandle it, though. It's saved back into the court of play. Braden Polinsky will cape it. Now a shot put up for three-point range. That's no good. And a rebound taken in by Dalton Kruger for the Lions. Across the midcourt with 3 seconds left. Unleashing a 30-footer at the buzzer, and that is no good. At the end of one, 13-3, Bennington on a big run as they finish that quarter on an 11-0 run. See if they can continue that run as we go to the second period. It is the Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Area Game of the Week presented by Bennington State Bank.
The Ram Black Friday sales event is your chance to save big all month long. Hi, this is Dane at Marshall Motors in Salina. Get 10% off MSRP on 23 Ram 1500 models. That's a discount of up to $13,000 off. On the heavier side, get up to $15,000 off a 23 Ram 2500. Shop everything Ram and find your new truck at the Black Friday sales event at Marshall Motors in Salina and online at marshallmotor.com.
The winter season may be here, but paintball fun is still waiting for you at Elite Sports. Elite Sports Paintball Complex, located 5 miles south of Salina, is open for special winter hours. Get the group together and visit Elite Sports on Saturdays and Sundays this winter from 11 until 4. Elite Sports features low-impact paintballs for the beginners or little ones, so everyone can have more fun. Visit them online at salinapaintballcomplex.com. Elite Sports Paintball Complex, open and waiting for you this weekend.
Back here to the Tri-County Tournament, we're at Minneapolis High School tonight where the Lions are taking on the Bennington Bulldogs. It's the Battle of Ottawa County, where Bennington finished that opening quarter on an 11-0 run, and they lead at 13-3 to start second quarter. Devin Haney, Russ Kossel back here. Eli Lawson has it inside. He is being swarmed by Lions. Now he's going to play it back out. Skip pass over the top of the defense. Ends up here with Isaiah Garrett. Now back over to the far side. Back to Mr. Smith. A quick little step through on the defender, and Mr. Smith will score another 2. He has 6.
Yeah, good pass right there, and a good job by Smith knowing exactly what he was going to do with that ball. Took one dribble, knew right where he was going to go.
Smith might have got an elbow there on a Minneapolis player trying to fight off the defense. Here's a steal now by Bennington. All the way down the center of the lane. Had a really horrible angle at the basket, but somehow the athleticism of Isaiah Garrett gets that basket to go down, and it's a run out after the 4th turnover for Minneapolis, ending up in a layup there for the Bennington Bulldogs, who now continuing this run with a 4-0 start to the second quarter.
Yeah, Isaiah Garrett got a great bounce pass from Kean Wilson right at the midcourt stripe. And by the time he gathered it and took his 2 steps and went up, he was kind of in no man's land and did a great job with his body to kind of twist it and get up and get that one to go in. Probably one of the toughest layups you can have is dead on straight with the goal, but much better start for.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like that long ago. Grant Rice sank a free throw for Minneapolis to put them up 3-2. Now it's 17-3 with 7:16 left to go here in the second quarter as this Bennington team is off to the races. And Minneapolis right now trying to stable the ship a little bit as they haven't played bad in this game. As you brought that up, they only have 4 turnovers. It's not an excessive amount of turnovers, but the last 2 have really been bad, and they've ended up in runouts for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, just shots that are unable to fall down.
Here's a 3-pointer off the timeout by Minneapolis, and it's going to be canned by Dalton Kruger. That's a much-needed basket for the Lions.
Yeah, and that's one of those guys, that's your 5-man stepping out and shooting a 3.
Here's a bump as Mr. Smith goes to the rack. He may have stepped on a foot on his way down. He's limping a little bit, and he's going to have to find his path to the free throw line here. Or did they call that on the floor?
Yeah, they called that on the floor on Grant Rice again, and that's going to be his 3rd foul. So he will probably sit. He was in good position there, Devin. If he just slides his feet a half step more and just takes a charge, that's going the other way.
So 15-0 run by Bennington, stopped there by a 3-pointer from Dalton Kruger. Bennington has it back now and a chance to answer, leading by 11. Just underway here, second quarter. Their 3-pointer, it's an air ball and a screen out there at the baseline by Owen Just, kept a Bennington player from saving that basketball. It'll be Minneapolis basketball, so they'll go back the other way.
Yeah, Kean Wilson right there, just it looked like that ball never sat right in his hand. He was still kind of fumbling, and he'd already made up his mind to shoot it.
Kruger with it in the center of the floor, goes backside now, far side to his guard, Owen Just. Just floats back to the middle. Now plays it off to the right-hand side to Joseph Wool. He'll play it back out to Just. 3-pointer on the way, too strong, no good. All the rebounds on the inside are being owned by Eli Lawson right now, and he is fouled on a rebounding foul on Minneapolis. We've only had 2 fouls called in this whole first half so far. Both of them belong to Minneapolis, and unfortunately, they both belong to Joseph Wool.
Yeah, Grant Rice actually got that last one, so now Rice, you have 2 guys with fouls. Grant Rice has 3 and Joseph Wool has 2, unfortunately, so you're kind of getting in this struggle right here.
Sorry, and I meant to say 2 fouls in each quarter so far, both on Minneapolis. 6:07 left to go here, second quarter. Here's a pass inside, Mr. Smith. He is triple teamed though. The first 2 guys went leaping after the entry pass. The 3rd guy took his dribble when he put it on the deck. Back the other way comes Minneapolis. Second turnover of the night there on Bennington. Here's a long shot, takes a high bounce. Mr. Smith cleans it up for the Dogs.
Another wide open look right there for Minneapolis. Getting good shots, like just struggling like the Bennington Lady Bulldogs did, unable to put the ball in the hole.
Down low, here's Smith going to work. A little drop step to the baseline side, and he rises up and finishes with a teardrop.
The most thing I'm impressed with right now is the court vision, as you're going to have a foul right here at the midcourt stripe. But all 5 guys wearing black jerseys, their vision on the court, knowing where each other is going to be, and you talked about it, that goes back to last year, bringing almost the entire starting 5 back.
Kean Wilson has just got another foul, and for Kean Wilson, that is his 3rd personal foul. He has all 3 of Bennington's fouls in this game. Here's a three-pointer that's bothered on the outside. That one might have been partially blocked by Rodenbeck, and now Bennington's going to pull it away. 5:11 left to go here, second quarter. Inside, Lawson looked around, checked over his right shoulder, drop step, went back to the left, and scored. 9 points for Eli Lawson.
I think once he realized where he was at, that he was that close to the block, he could just turn around and put that one up, as Minneapolis once again getting rushed in the backcourt and able to get it across.
Here's Parks with it. Leaves it off in the corner. Another three-point attempt up, and another three-point attempt good by Dalton Kruger. He's keeping the Lions' head above water here with 6 points, all from behind the arc here in this second quarter.
Yeah, doubling the team's scoring output in the second quarter from the first is Kruger, so a good job of stepping him out and letting him shoot the ball.
Mr. Smith driving baseline, leaning underneath the basket. He plays it out for a three-pointer from Talon Pickering. Bennington answers with a 3. Curtis Pickering, head coach of the Dogs, wants a timeout as Bennington comes firing back with 4:23 left to play here in the second quarter.
So if you're Minneapolis right now, you're not getting bad looks. Your defense is playing, I would say, pretty well. I mean, obviously it's a struggle inside, but you've got to get shots, and you have to make shots is what you're going to have to do.
Earlier on tonight, our first game here on Salina Post was the Minneapolis Lions on the girls' side, beating Bennington 48-12. Leading scores tonight for the Lions, Maggie Shoup had 15, Brady Weatherman had 12. For the Lions now, they are 3-0 on the season. Sage Products of Salina is your supplier for janitorial products for your business or home. From paper towels to soap and items from ceiling to floor, look around when you're out and about taking in high school athletics. More than likely in this area, you will see products from Sage Products. You can have those same products in your home by visiting sageselects.com. 24-9 our score, Bennington leading Minneapolis here at Minneapolis High School. It's the home opener for the Lions. And right now, the Bulldogs flexing their muscle a little bit. This is one of the better teams in the state in Class 2A. Minneapolis with the basketball. 2 3-pointers from Dalton Kruger is what they have to show for their offensive effort so far here in this second period. Halfway through, here's Owen Just. Pulls up on the left-hand side. That shot no good as he was leaning out of it. Mr. Smith cleans up the rebound for Bennington. Back down the floor, Isaiah Garrett's back into the game for Bennington. He had it in the near corner, now swings around the perimeter to the far side. Surveying the action is Talon Pickering. He'll play it back to Garrett. Garrett on a couple of dribbles, now baseline to Mr. Smith, and he was checked with a hip by Ryan Parks. That'll be a first foul of the game on Parks, and the 3rd team foul this quarter.
And I think if you're Bennington right now, obviously well in control of this game early on, but Eli Lawson is coming open.
Here's Isaiah Garrett for 3. Smith one-hands the rebound, keeps it alive for Bennington, and then Pickering trying to squeeze it through on the backside there. He was looking for Paige Rodenbeck, and that ball was kicked by a Minneapolis defender.
And what I'm saying, I think Eli Lawson needs to touch that ball in that high post area and look for maybe Mr. Smith to come on that backside.
Garrett has it on the far corner, tried to get it into Smith on the inside, but jumping in the passing lane was Kingston Darnay. Second turnover of the quarter for Bennington. 3.5 minutes left to go in the second period. 24-9 is our score. Bennington leading here against the Lions. Darnay has it, top of the circle. Now he'll play it to Zach Nelson. Nelson, couple left-handed dribbles over here to the near side. A three-pointer put up. Kruger wants his 3rd of the quarter, and it's going to take a high bounce and go back into the hands of the Bennington Bulldogs.
and obviously it's stated early on that Kruger can shoot that. He has Eli Lawson on him, so maybe part of that is running that 5 out, is dragging one of those big, tall guys outside of the lane.
Agreed. Bennington back down on offense here. Pickering on the right-hand side, fires a 3. That's no good. Isaiah Garrett goes leaping up, but a Minneapolis Lion from behind slaps the basketball. The baseline official is going to say it goes to Minneapolis here with just under 3 minutes left to play in the second quarter.
I think if you're Minneapolis, if you can get this within 10 at the break, you're doing something right and really playing pretty well this game.
Owen just got into the lane, couple of head and shoulder fakes, and he's able to score just on the leaner. His second basket of the night. He has 4. 2:38 left to play here in the second period as we work our way towards halftime. Glad you could join us here on Salina Post with live stream video brought to you by Bennington State Bank. Ball goes out of bounds. It was touched by a Lion. It will stay with Bennington here on their offensive end. A chance to run some baseline offense. They get it in to Rodenbeck. Now through Pickering, back to the right-hand side. Garrett, lob pass inside. Lawson in a triple team, missed his first attempt, but he's there to get it back in. And on the tip, Eli Lawson now moves into double digits. He has 11.
And the only thing Kruger did wrong there is after that shot went up, he just turned and tried to jump and get it. And you're not going to out-jump Lawson. You got to turn and put a body on him.
Well, Lawson already has the advantage because he knows where he missed and he knows where the rebound's coming off. Here's a long shot by Minneapolis. It's no good, but Ryan Parks is going to steal it away in transition. Parks challenging 2 Bulldogs. Slams on the brakes. Ball on the floor. A Bulldog down after it. Pickering trying to save it, and he does so and gets an aid from his coach. A timeout here, a 30-second timeout taken in by Curtis Pickering. 26-11, and a chance to tell you that our games tomorrow are all lined up on the Eagle Communications network of stations and also on digital, SalinaPost.com. We got a busy night. We have Southeast of Saline in their home opener. They're going to step into league play in the North Central Activities Association. They're going to take on Beloit. We'll have that for you on KINA and also with live stream video on SalinaPost.com. Game of the week, well, we're going to double up tomorrow. It'll be South and Central, the Mayor's Cup in Salina. That game will be played at Mabee Arena on the campus of Kansas Wesleyan University. Tyler Henry will have the call on that one. You can see that right here on SalinaPost.com. Also, action from the Irish Classic Tournament involving Sacred Heart. They will play Rossville early on tomorrow in a doubleheader, girls then boys. And then the nightcap will be the host school, the Chapman Irish, taking on Bishop Ward. Adam Coulter will have the call and a live stream video of those 4 games from the Irish Classic Tournament coming your way tomorrow afternoon from Chapman.
And then on Saturday, you and I will have the call of Rossville and Chapman.
We'll go to Chapman, and Adam will have Sacred Heart and Bishop Ward, I believe. So a busy, busy weekend here with high school basketball as things are in full swing. 26-11, this game in full swing. Bennington leading by 15. Here's Lawson going to the cup. Can't get it to go on the backside rebound. Collected in. Isaiah Garrett was fouled, trying to put that back in. He will step to the free throw line for his first free throws of the night.
First foul on Zach Wilson for Minneapolis, and if you're Minneapolis, you got to eliminate the second chance opportunities. You got to minimize them. I don't want to say eliminate them, as the first free throw is good, but you're going to have to turn on these shots that are kind of out of control and put a body on somebody and find them and then go get the basketball.
Isaiah Garrett makes the first free throw for Bennington. 1:34 left to play. Second one teed up, it's on its way, and it will hit the front of the rim. Lawson nearly tipped it in, but he had a Minneapolis Lion firmly planted in his back, and the Lions will come away with it. 27-11 is our score. 16-point lead here by the Bulldogs. Inside, here's Kruger. Went up, and the slap of the backboard there by Lawson on the initial attempt, but Kruger had just enough hesitation in there that he didn't let that bother his shot. 8 points in the quarter for Dalton Kruger.
Yeah, and that basket would have counted anyway if it didn't go in, as he was slapped fairly hard, and it would have been basket interference.
Here's another steal by Minneapolis. It's the 4th turnover of the half for Bennington. This game is equal in turnovers right now. Minneapolis doing what they got to do to stick around in this one. Under a minute left to play. 27-13. Minneapolis with the basketball. In down low to Parks. He goes back and forth. His shot bothered there by Isaiah Garrett. It comes off hard. No good. Bennington back the other way. Rodenbeck has it. in the middle of the floor. Smith, he has to hesitate. Now he finds Garrett on the left-hand side, and he'll turn it over. A steal taken in by Owen Just. 5 turnovers now, 4 in the quarter for Bennington. And their head coach, Curtis Pickering, standing unpleased with hands on hips. Clock down to 17. Minneapolis in the keyhole. Here's a pass to Parks, shovels it back out. Now the ball on the floor, Bennington takes it away. Up the floor, here come the Bulldogs. It's Lawson scooping to the rim, and the finger roll on the left-hand side by Eli Lawson. It's a half a dozen in the quarter, a baker's dozen for the game, and that will close the half for the Bennington Bulldogs. Equaling their biggest lead of the first half, Bennington goes into halftime with a 29-13 lead. When we come back, we'll go over stats from the first half, scoring recap brought to you by Marshall Motors. We'll also look at some other area games. Not a lot going on in our immediate area, but we will give you some scores to pass along here around the state of Kansas. This score here, 29-13. We are at halftime of the Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Area Game of the Week, and it's brought to you by Bennington State Bank.
Winter travel can be treacherous if your tires are worn out. Stay safe with an inspection at Commercial Tire Company. Cold weather also drops the inflation in your tires. Get them checked today to avoid losing grip or damaging your tires. Commercial Tire will help keep you safe. For repairs that aren't tire related, our automotive and diesel mechanics will fix it right the first time. Commercial Tire Centers, West Crawford and North 9th, Salina.
Commercial Tire Centers, where service is everything.
It's the holiday season, and that means holiday gifts for you from Salina Medical Aesthetics. Now through the end of the year, purchase 1 syringe of filler and get 10 units of Botox as your holiday gift. Cruise into winter with the SME Brighten and Tighten Laser Package. 4 dye VL and 4 clear lift treatments for face and neck. Just $2,500. Botox is also 10% off. Treat yourself or those you love with specials and gift cards from Salina Medical Aesthetics. See more online with social media and salinamedesthetics.org.
It's the holidays, the most glorious time of the year. Friends and family coming to your home to celebrate with dinner, drinks, and that terrible, horrendous smell. What is that? That is your septic system backing up into your home and making your holiday stink. If you haven't had your septic system pumped out and cleaned in the last 3 years, you're asking for trouble. Call Salina Septic Service today, and we will make sure your holiday is jolly and bright. Salina Septic Service, wishing you and yours a very Merry Christmas and worry-free holiday season.
The Jeep Black Friday sales event is your chance to save big all month long. Hi, this is Dane at Marshall Motors in Salina. Take 10% off MSRP on the 23 Grand Cherokee. That's $9,500 off. If it's a Jeep Gladiator you've been looking at, now you can get up to $14,000 off a new Jeep Gladiator Sport. Shop everything Jeep, new and pre-owned. Save big at the Black Friday sales event at Marshall Motors in Salina and online at marshallmotor.com.
Every Friday night, tune in to KINA, 9:10 a.m. or also 107.5 FM for the Kansas High School Basketball Scoreboard Show. It's the most comprehensive show in the area. It covers the whole state of Kansas with scores and game wraps a whole hour from 10 until 11 o'clock. That's every Friday night during the basketball season on KINA, 9:10 a.m., also 107.5 FM. It's brought to you by Salina Surgical Hospital and Home Automotive Centers in Abilene and Salina. Home Automotive Center, if you're looking for a new car buy here towards the end of the year, they have great deals on all GMC vehicles, SUVs, and trucks. They need to sell a certain number of GMCs, and they're going to clear their lots in both Abilene and Salina of GMC vehicles. See Home Automotive Centers in Abilene and Salina for your new GMC, Buick, or Chevrolet. Bennington leading here at the half, 29-13. As we go over scoring from the first half, Eli Lawson leads all scorers for the Bennington Bulldogs. He has a baker's dozen, 13, and pretty much split that over the first 2 quarters. 7 in the first quarter, 6 in the second quarter. 8 for Mr. Smith. He did the same thing with 4 in each quarter. 5 for Talon Pickering, and 3 for Isaiah Garrett. For the Minneapolis Lions, they're being led by Dalton Kruger, who has 8 points. He scored all of those in the second quarter. 4 points for Owen Just, and a single free throw for Grant Rice. On the free throw line, Bennington right now 4 of 6 from the charity stripe. Minneapolis 1 of 2. Turnovers even. Both teams have committed 5 turnovers. That's your Marshall Motors scoring recap in a 29-13 first half. Back with more action here from the Tri-County Tournament. 29-13, Bennington leading Minneapolis here at the half on Salina Post.
The Bennington State Bank proudly supports local sports and wants each student to know that their hard work and talent is noticed and appreciated. At Bennington State Bank, they care about local communities and are committed to fostering long-term relationships through the delivery of excellent customer service, integrity, and fairness. From helping local businesses to supporting community youth and nonprofits to helping you purchase your dream home or invest in your future, Bennington State Bank is here to help. Give them a call to experience exceptional banking with hometown service. Bennington State Bank, your trusted hometown bank. Member FDIC.
The hours of drills, the pre-dawn workouts, the hundreds of laps. It takes hard work, passion, and drive to do what you love. When you're sidelined by injury, Salina Regional Sports Medicine is just as committed and works just as hard to get you back in the game. Salina Regional Sports Medicine, 785-452-7366. SalinaRegionalSportsMedicine.com.
APAC Kansas Incorporated has been building the Heartland from the ground up for over a century. From the supply of aggregate materials, hot mix asphalt, and concrete to the construction of roads and bridges, we do it all. You've seen our trucks, and now we want to hire you. APAC in Salina is growing, and we are hiring for all positions. From truck drivers to mechanics, general laborers, and construction, APAC has your next career. For more details, visit the job links page at salinapost.com. Great pay and benefits, APAC is an equal opportunity employer.
When does normal acute pain become abnormal chronic pain? Chronic pain can be one of two types, nociceptive and neuropathic. Each type differs based on what causes it, what it feels like, and what treatments may relieve it. Neuropathic pain can often be managed by a therapy called neurostimulation or spinal cord stimulation. If you suffer from chronic pain, ask your primary care physician for a referral to the Salina Pain Clinic. Our pain specialist will discuss the right options to manage your pain. Online at salinapainclinic.org.
Time to check some area scores. Again, not a lot of games going on in the immediate area. There is still some preseason tournaments, most of them going on out west. We do have the Clifton Clyde girls who beat Rural Vista tonight by a count of 68-23. Also, the Clifton Clyde boys were able to beat Rural Vista tonight 70-22. The Minneapolis girls tonight beat Bennington 48-12. Brian Weatherman's Lady Lions are undefeated here early on in the season at 3-0. Twin Valley is dedicated to bringing you the most reliable broadband network with affordable internet rates, hometown customer service, and community outreach. Learn more about fiber internet and the Twin Valley Pledge at twinvalley.com. One more break, back with the start of the third quarter. 29-13 is our score. Bennington leading Minneapolis here at the half on Salina Post.
Gabe with Sage Products in Salina, offering industrial strength products that get the job done right. We are featuring hospital-grade disinfectant sprays, wipes, and hand sanitizers to keep you safe this time of year. We carry toilet paper with a large assortment of hand towels. Check out our private line of colorful products like Mom's Streak-Free Glass Cleaner or our friendly Amazing Green Bowl Cleaner. Go online to sageselects.com, visit our 9th Street location in Salina, or call 309-1919.
Your next visit to the doctor for an upcoming procedure or surgery should start with a conversation about Salina Surgical Hospital. Hi, this is Geraldine Diedrich, and we are truly committed to fostering your health and well-being. From outpatient procedures to inpatient stays, you will feel the difference in our excellent care and compassion. Talk to your doctor about scheduling your next procedure at Salina Surgical Hospital. Your surgical experience is our specialty. Salina Surgical Hospital is partially owned by a group of local, community-involved physicians.
Insurance is something we all need in our business, home, car, and life. But do you really understand what's covered? And most importantly, what you are paying for? Hi, this is Rob Carlson in the Salina office of Smart Insurance. Change is good, especially if you haven't looked at your insurance policy lately. I can help you understand what you need and where the gaps are in your coverage. We provide free quotes and take pride in looking out for you. Smart Insurance, with locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington. Give us a call today.
Winter travel can be treacherous if your tires are worn out. Stay safe with an inspection at Commercial Tire Company. Cold weather also drops the inflation in your tires. Get them checked today to avoid losing grip or damaging your tires. Commercial Tire will help keep you safe. For repairs that aren't tire related, our automotive and diesel mechanics will fix it right the first time. Commercial Tire Centers, West Crawford and North 9th, Salina.
Commercial Tire Centers, where service is everything.
Just about ready for a start of third quarter action. Devin Haney, Russ Kossel back here at Minneapolis High School. Minneapolis and Bennington boys doing battle right now. Bennington with the lead, 29-13. Russ, what did you see that you liked in that first half from both teams?
Well, let's start with Minneapolis first. I saw a lot of good things. The defense played well. That 2-3 zone was effective. The only thing that wasn't effective about it is second chance opportunities for Bennington. As far as offensively for Minneapolis, I don't think you can ask for much more if you're John Darrow. You're getting the shots you want. They're just not falling. You got a couple threes there from Dalton Kruger, and for Bennington, defensive pressure has been a problem. Minneapolis has handled it fairly well, only turning them over 4 times, but you got to eliminate second chance points for Bennington. You have to block out, especially Smith, Lawson, get a hand up. I like the way the 2 guards out front in that 2-3 zone are really disrupting things out front.
Yeah, you're playing a 2-3 zone because you're fully aware of Lawson and Mr. Smith along that baseline and doing work around the blocks, but you've only given up 1 3-pointer in that first half. But I think you're right. Part of defense is finishing out the possession and getting the rebound. That's really the difference in this game right now, is Minneapolis just finishing their defensive possession and getting that rebound and not letting Bennington get second chance points on the kickouts and on the offensive boards. Lions start out with the basketball here. They have their work cut out for them with a 16-point deficit, but here's a shot by Owen Just. That is up and good. Half a dozen in the game so far for Owen Just.
And another good shot, good opportunity from that 10 to 14-foot range, and Owen just rising up and following through, getting that one high off the window.
A lob to the backside and a turnover. That ball was intended for Mr. Smith, who came off the right wing towards the rim on the right-hand side, and the first turnover of the second half belongs to Bennington.
Yeah, and that's Kean Wilson again, and we saw Wilson pick up those 3 fouls, did not play a lot in the first half, doesn't have a lot of rhythm.
Here's a leaner and a lot of contact, people reaching in there on Owen Just. He was able to muscle through it and get back-to-back buckets. Now he has tied Dalton Kruger for high point honors for the Lions with 8. Minneapolis scoring the first 4 of this half. They have cut the Bennington lead down to 12.
And a little more aggressive now. Owen Just rising up and going to get it.
3-pointer from the corner. That misses from Talon Pickering, and the closeout and the rebound for the Lions.
And a much better job getting a body on a body right there if you're Minneapolis, clearing them out and rising up and going and getting the ball.
Minneapolis back down on offense. Grant Rice has it. He deals it out to Dalton Kruger. Kruger went through a spell of a hot hand there in the second quarter, scored 8 points in the period. It's a 12-point game. Minneapolis has scored the first 4 points of this quarter. They're going to kick it out. Kruger, short corner, wanted the jumper, but closed out on quickly. Now here's a shot up, and it's good by Zach Nelson. Nelson's first basket of the game. It's a 6-0 Minneapolis run.
And 3 for 3, more importantly, to start this second half if you're Minneapolis. The shots now starting to fall. You have to continue the pressure on the defensive end.
Playing defense now a little more aggressive are the Lions. They're shifting, coming over, covering each other, and a steal in the corner by Grant Rice. 2 turnovers by Bennington to start this half.
2 turnovers and 3 possessions for Minneapolis on the defensive side in that 2-3 zone.
Spin move up top, all the way to the cup. Contact when he landed, no foul called. The shot misses, and it's going to be Lawson running it down in the far corner. Eli Lawson will bring it up himself up across the timeline. Around the perimeter they will go. Ends up with Kean Wilson. Now inside, back to Lawson, and he's going to have it falling down for 2, and a timeout called by Bennington. Boy, a great start to the quarter for Minneapolis. They started on a 6-0 run, but now that run quieted momentarily by a 2-pointer inside to Eli Lawson.
And a little breakdown in that 2-3 zone right there. Eli Lawson kind of was in that short corner area, kind of no man's land, and just hanging out, and then he just ran right behind both defenders, right up in the middle of the lane, and caught that ball in about that 4 to 6 foot range. And when he catches it in there, especially that open, his mind is made up. He knows where the defense is at. He knows where he just came from, and quickly turning around and a little body control right there to go around, up and under with that right hand.
Christmas open houses are in full swing at your local Bennington State Bank branch tomorrow in Salina from 9 until 4. You can visit Bennington State Bank for holiday treats, fun giveaways, and also, more importantly, that 2024 calendar. If you missed the one in Salina tomorrow, or maybe you're just a Christmas open house junkie, you want to go next week, they're going to be in Minneapolis and Bennington. Minneapolis on Wednesday of next week, Bennington on Thursday of next week, and then to round it out in Abilene on Friday of next week. Find Bennington State Bank online for more schedules of their Christmas open houses. Out of the timeout, Bennington called it right after they scored. Minneapolis now has the basketball. They'll pitch it out, Parks to Rice. Rice with a three-pointer, that won't go down. And the long rebound, Karam's out along the baseline to the far corner. It will be Bulldog basketball.
And Darrow and the coaching staff right there, okay with that shot. Once again, another wide open look from the outside. It seems from the outside right now, Kruger's the only one that can get anything to fall.
31-19 is our score. Bennington with the lead and the possession. Lawson has it, goes across the lane, little touch pass, got sloppy there from Bennington. Kean Wilson tried to touch it across the paint to Mr. Smith, and that ball was disrupted there by Minneapolis, though it will stay with Bennington.
Yeah, good defensive set right there for Minneapolis. Good job, kind of got over-rotated, and then were able to flex back into the front of the basket.
Bennington from the baseline, inbounds it all the way up high. Wilson nearly stepped out of bounds. He's going to play it up top for a three-pointer from Talon Pickering between the circles. That hits the front of the rim, and it comes off here to the Lions. 4:49 left to play, third period. There's a hesitation in the lane. A shot put up by Owen Just. That looked like the shot that he made to begin the quarter. That one, though, won't go down. Here's Lawson coming down the floor like a freight train. Has the ball stripped away. Kept, though, by his Bennington teammates. Isaiah Garrett on the right-hand side. Now to Lawson up top. He'll put it on the floor. He's stripped. Third turnover of the period on the Bulldogs. No look pass there on the handoff. Zach Nelson got it to Owen Just, now gets it back. They're trying to get it to Deronay inside. He's struggling with Lawson. Lawson cups that basketball with one hand, and he's able to get it out of harm's way to Talon Pickering. And now a foul will be called on the Lions in transition defense.
Yeah, Zach Nelson right there picking up his second foul, and that just shows you the strength of Eli Lawson. He just reached in with his non-dominant, I want to say not strong hand, but not dominant hand with his left and just ripped it out, kind of cupped it behind him, peeked over his shoulder, saw Pickering and just flipped it out to start the fast break.
Halfway through the third period. Bennington with the basketball in a 12-point lead. Lawson inside, 2, maybe 3 Lions around him at all times. That's going to open up Isaiah Garrett, who goes into the paint and takes a lane line right jumper for his first points of the second half. He has 5.
Yeah, kind of a breakdown right there. They got corralled down on Lawson, and just Garrett kind of came open on that far side.
Minneapolis with the basketball. Kruger with it. I was just getting ready to say, look a little out sync, and then John Darrow jumps up, and the veteran Minneapolis leader is going to call a timeout here in a 30-second timeout.
And I think a little bit of adjustment there, Devin, on the defensive end to start this third quarter for Bennington. Eli Lawson guarding Dalton Kruger kind of left him about maybe an arm and a half length, and now completely pressing up on him after he hit those 2 threes on Eli Lawson, and now kind of pressing out on Kruger, allowing him to feel Kruger doesn't look very comfortable out there as a big guy with the ball unless he's catching it and knowing he's going to shoot it.
We're here with the Salina Regional Sports Medicine Game of the Week, in part thanks to Joe Guillory at L&L Advisors. You can see Joe for consulting on Medicare supplements, insurance plans, prescription plans, and much, much more. 3 locations for L&L Advisors. You can go see Joe at his office just off the corner of Crawford and Roach Street in Salina. We're by Salina Stadium. They also have a location inside the Central Mall by Joanne's Fabrics, and also their third stop in downtown McPherson. I want to thank Joe and all the agents at L&L Advisors for supporting high school athletics with Salina Post. Out of the timeout, Minneapolis working through their offense here. 3.5 minutes left to go in the third. 33-19, Bennington leading it here by 14 points. Garrett up top, man-to-man defense. He's chasing after Grant Rice, who has the basketball. Those two face-to-face between the rings. Now over to Owen Just. He's going to turn the corner on Mr. Smith, go to the baseline, and a little body check there called on Mr. Smith. That is his first foul.
That's the first foul for Bennington anybody other named Kean Wilson.
Yeah, great point. And only the second foul. Each team has one here in this third period. We're over halfway through at the 3:12 mark. Minneapolis trying to inbound it here. They get it into Kruger. Little kick out to Zach Nelson. Nelson will take a dribble to the near side of the right elbow and rise up and shoot that one in. Zach Nelson has 4 here in this third period.
And rise up and shoot it he had to do with Eli Lawson right in his face, and just nice touch on it right over the front of the rim.
After 4 straight points by Bennington, Minneapolis comes back with an answer. Bulldogs get it down low to Eli Lawson. He's shoved out of bounds along the baseline. It'll be a body check foul here against the Minneapolis Lions.
Judging by Grant Rice running over to the bench, I think we're safe to say that he just picked up number 4 for the game, and Deronay coming back in to replace Grant Rice.
That is 4 on Grant. It seems like Kean Wilson for Bennington and Grant Rice, the 2 top guards, if you will, for both teams, just really struggling with foul trouble here in this game. And now a big drop step back into the middle of the paint for Lawson, who scores.
And how about that move? He was going to drop step to the right, knew the double team was coming, took one dribble to the middle of the lane as soon as he caught it, and just outsmart the defense and just rise up and put it right over the front. Great move by Eli Lawson.
He has some really great footwork, does he not? Now here's a traveling violation against the Lions, their first turnover of the period. It's one thing to be big, it's another thing to be athletic, but when you're big and athletic and you put great footwork and sense about you, boy, it's dangerous, and that's looking at Eli Lawson. He is a joy to watch. 35-21. Of course, this Bennington team, any one of these guys can blow up on any given night. That's what makes them so dangerous. Here's a lob pass into Lawson. Fakes it to the right, has a Minneapolis Lion on his back, and he's going to finish on the opposite side. Knew he had too much contesting on the left-hand side of the basket, was able to put it underneath the rim, off the window on the opposite side with a Lion on his back, and he's going to have a chance at a three-point play.
And a good move. The triple team, everybody except for the Minneapolis players on the bench converging down on Lawson as he gets the and one. But just a heads-up smart play. He's so strong with the basketball, and the coaching staff trusting him in that double-triple team to go up when he's at the rim.
Now a 17-point advantage. It's the biggest of the game for Bennington, and it's being spearheaded by Eli Lawson, who has 7, and now Minneapolis turns it over.
And you're in that threshold right now. You had this game down to 12, 13 points, and now slowly but surely Bennington start to turn them over and stretch this lead back out.
When I say Eli Lawson has 7, that's in this period alone. He has 20 for the game. Here's a lob pass to Lawson. May have got undercut just a tad by Ryan Parks, just coincidental contact, but again, Lawson there not being blocked out, puts it back in off the window. And now a timeout called by Minneapolis. They need one here as this lead from Bennington has ballooned to 19 points. 40-21 is our score. Want to also thank our sponsors of the Game of the Week here on Salina Post with live stream video being brought to you by Bennington State Bank. We also need to thank Salina Septic Service, Commercial Tire Centers, Elite Sports, Paintball Complex, and Apex Shears. They are all proud supporters of the sports coverage on Eagle Communications, Salina Post, and also area high school student athletes. 40-21 is our score. I am still, even though we're at a 19-point game, I'm impressed with this Minneapolis team because we came in not expecting a whole lot out of this young Lion squad. John Darrow, I think, said it best. He said, I have guys with a ton of varsity experience, but we're still very, very young. They only have one senior on their squad. That's Ryan Parks. But, man, they are in there just scratching and clawing and fighting against this very good Bennington team.
Yeah, you're right. And I agree. I'm really impressed. I think what I'm most impressed with on this Minneapolis team is how effective that this 2-3 zone has been. If you look at the games Bennington's had, they've scored 71 and 64, and right now we're a minute 30 from the end of the third, and you've held them to 40 points in a 2-3 zone this whole time.
Yeah, Bennington opened their season against Sylvan Lucas 71-21. Then they beat Solomon on Tuesday 64-18. This is their third game of the season, looking to move to 3-0. It was a team that went to the 2A state tournament last year and finished 19-5. Skip pass over the top here for the Lions, far side to near side. Now they throw it away. Lawson has it. Here comes the train again. Behind the back dribble all the way to the cup. Has to evade a defender to avoid contact and left that finger roll just a little bit short. Minneapolis scoops it up and comes the other way. Here's a shot on the left-hand side that's no good from Kruger. Mr. Smith with a big rebound for Bennington. Here's Lawson running down the middle of the floor. Garrett will feed him. That shot is up no good. Garrett, though, gets the rebound and puts it up and in. Isaiah Garrett off the bench tonight for Bennington with 7 points.
Yeah, and so far, Garrett and Lawson, the only two that have scored in this quarter.
Here's a strip. Lawson takes it away. Turnover number 4 for the Lions. Eli Lawson, a little hesitation here. Now he's looking for help. Nope, spin move. Went to the rim, can't get it to go. Ball on the floor, it's going to squirt out of bounds and stay with Bennington with 42 seconds left to play here in the third.
And Lawson got caught there picking up his dribble kind of in no man's land and just turned one way, and I'll just take a big step around you, and just a little too strong off the glass.
Lob pass in. It's going to be skipped back here to Garrett, left-hand side. He was the inbounder. Somehow he gets it into Lawson. Lawson was looking at Smith on the weak side, couldn't get him the ball. Now it goes from three-point territory into Mr. Smith, who squeezes it off the backboard and also gets the foul.
Yeah, great look right there. They obviously wanted to go backside from the start, but a good job right there of being patient by this Bennington team, getting it back out, and then knowing where your guy's at to get him the shot for the and one.
Kingston Deronay with the foul. The free throw by Mr. Smith won't go, but Eli Lawson is there to get his buddies back. He'll put it back in. It's a 4-point trip by Bennington, and now all of a sudden a 25-point lead as the Bulldogs start to run away. 17 seconds left to go in the third. A reaching foul will be called here against Talon Pickering for the Dogs.
Yeah, and as aggressive as this Bennington team has played, they've only had 5 fouls in this whole game so far, and 3 of them are by Kean Wilson.
And those came early. Kean's cleaned it up here lately as we've moved in after halftime here. But, yeah, you're right. Just not a lot of fouls as aggressive as they've been here in their defensive set. 16 seconds left to go to close out the third. Ryan Parks on the inbounds will throw it way up high to Joseph Wool. Clock down to 12. 46-21. Minneapolis trying to add to their 21 total, and a foul will be called on Paige Rodenbeck. That is his first foul. And he will send Joseph Wool to the free throw line. Wool has not scored in this game, hasn't shot any free throws. This will be his first attempts on a shooting foul. 2 shots coming up.
And Minneapolis dropping everybody back right here with 8 seconds left to try to prevent Bennington from coming down and doing something wild.
Wool's first free throw is up and good. Minneapolis so far hasn't shot a lot of free throws in this game. With that make, they are 2 of 3. 8.1 seconds left. Second free throw on the way is good. Bennington will roll it in. They'll cross the timeline with 6, and now a foul called on that far sideline on Zach Nelson. That is his third.
And that's going to be 2 free throws because that is the 15th foul. Now 4. That should be 2 shots right here. 4, I think it's Pickering who was on the far side over there.
I think you're right. He's already standing at the free throw line. It's like he was the only one on the floor that knew that this was free throw attempts. So Talon Pickering with 5 points in the game. His first free throw's coming up. 2 shots with 5.6 seconds left. That play only took 2.5 seconds for Bennington to run there.
Well, they rolled it to about half court
Yep.
and picked it up, and then boom, there was a foul right away as the first free throw rolls in for Pickering.
Pickering will get that one. He has a half a dozen now. We'll get a second look here. That one rolls around, comes off. Lawson nearly had the basketball. Now Minneapolis in a scramble to end the quarter. Parks out for a three-pointer. That's good. They're going to call it a 2 with a toe on the line from Joseph Wall. He dials up a long 2, and he ends the quarter with 4 points. 47-25, our score. When we come back, 4th and final quarter action. It's the Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Area High School Game of the Week presented by Bennington State Bank.
The winter season may be here, but paintball fun is still waiting for you at Elite Sports. Elite Sports Paintball Complex, located 5 miles south of Salina, is open for special winter hours. Get the group together and visit Elite Sports on Saturdays and Sundays this winter from 11 until 4. Elite Sports features low-impact paintballs for the beginners or little ones, so everyone can have more fun. Visit them online at salinapaintballcomplex.com. Elite Sports Paintball Complex, open and waiting for you this weekend.
The Ram Black Friday sales event is your chance to save big all month long. Hi, this is Dane at Marshall Motors in Salina. Get 10% off MSRP on 23 Ram 1500 models. That's a discount of up to $13,000 off. On the heavier side, get up to $15,000 off a 23 Ram 2500. Shop everything Ram and find your new truck at the Black Friday sales event at Marshall Motors in Salina and online at marshallmotor.com.
Back here at Minneapolis High School, a brief check of the Salina Surgical Hospital scoreboard and an area score featuring the Ellsworth Bearcats tonight. They were able to beat the Russell Broncos 52-14. That's an old matchup of NCAA schools. Of course, Russell left the North Central Activities Association, but Ellsworth should have a good basketball team once again this year. Devin Haney, Russ Kossel back here, Brian Dennett providing live stream video here on SalinaPost.com, brought to you by Bennington State Bank. 47-25, Bennington leading here as we go into the fourth and final quarter. Shot from top of the key by Dalton Kruger. That's no good, and Bennington comes away with the rebound. A 24-point advantage was the biggest that Bennington has had in this game. 25 was the biggest. It was a 24-point advantage before Joseph Wohl hit that two-pointer right before the quarter as Minneapolis continues to keep this within that 30-point range and get a little more basketball, avoid that running clock. Mr. Smith fouled down low, is going to the free throw line.
Yeah, it's worth mentioning again, these guards from Bennington just seeing the floor and knowing where Mr. Smith and Eli Lawson are going to be at and just finding them and them two just finishing and drawing contact every time down the floor.
Smith misses the first free throw but gets the second. He is 3 of 5 from the free throw line in this game. He has 11 points. 48-25. Here's a drive to the basket and a collision as Owen Just was floating away from the rim, and a foul is going to be called that will send Owen Just to the free throw stripe. 8 points for Owen Just so far in this game. He's been impressive at times.
Yeah, started off the second half playing really well, going 2 for 2 right to start the second half. Thought he was coming in hot as he makes the first free throw. Still playing aggressive. I like what I'm seeing out of Minneapolis in this 20-point game is they're still being aggressive, still attacking the rim.
Be interesting to see where they fall in league play as Owen Just makes both the free throws. Obviously, after losing 9 seniors, southeast of Saline, not the beast that they have been over the last few years. I think Beloit's still going to be good. We just mentioned Ellsworth in that league. Sacred Heart, of course, always a player on the boys' side. It's always a fun league to watch. And NCAA on the guys' side of basketball. Now a three-pointer put up and in by Kean Wilson. Good to see him score after he's been saddled with foul trouble all night.
Yeah, good to see him come on. I know Coach Pickering likes the way he plays and navigates this offense. So you're going to have a missed three-pointer there by Grant Rice. And as I said earlier, Kean never really got into the flow of this game, picking up those 2 fouls in the first 3 minutes of the game, then picking up that third foul the first minute into the second half. And he has spent more time on the bench in foul trouble on the floor. Good to see him get going and seeing a shot go through.
Should be fresh for Saturday.
Real fresh.
51-27 our score. Bennington has it back after that air ball by Minneapolis that went out of bounds. Bulldogs now working it on their offensive end. Braden Polinsky into the game. He played briefly there in the first half. Here's a drive by Mr. Smith. He was fouled early in the move and will be just the second team foul of the quarter here against Minneapolis. This foul will go against the Lions. Dalton Kruger, it is his second.
And this Bennington team is not deep. They're only playing 7 guys tonight. So able to play through, obviously, in really good shape.
Here's a lob pass inside to Mr. Smith. He is double-teamed behind the backboard, but somehow he gets his way back to an angle on the glass and able to finish it down low. 3 points in the quarter now for Mr. Smith. He has a baker's dozen in the game. Here's a shot put up. That's no good. A couple of hands after it, and they're going to say it's off of Bennington, as there was a fight there between Kruger and Polinsky for the ball. It went off Polinsky, said the baseline official. It will stay with the Lions with 6:17 left to go here in the fourth quarter.
And Mr. Smith, that back one back there behind the backboard, the body control he had and the wherewithal to know he had to jump sideways to get that one up.
Here's another foul on the inbounds. This will be whistled against Talon Pickering for the Bulldogs. That's his second. Team foul number 2 on Bennington here in the quarter. 6:16 left to go. A 26-point advantage right now for Bennington. That is their biggest lead of the night. They get it into Ryan Parks. He'll flip it back out here to Grant Rice. Rice dribbles to the side of the lane, shot up and good. There have been multiple times where Minneapolis has been able to make their own shot tonight, so to speak, on times like that, and I think that's probably the thing that's most impressive for me. They're not settling for three-pointers. They're trying to get quality jumpers.
Yeah, and they're exactly right. They are, just like in the first half, as you get a turnover here by Bennington, but they had all their looks in that first half, Devin, were good, non-contested shots, just unable to get them fall. And with Bennington getting hot there in that first quarter, and then late in the second, kind of spread this game open.
53-29. Bennington will turn it over, as you said. That's their fourth turnover of the half. Here's a shot put up in traffic by Owen Just, and the Lions come up empty on that possession. Lawson with the basketball all the way down the floor. He's going to float out to the right-hand wing, now come back to the basket, and a blocking foul will be called here against the Lions as he collided that time along the baseline with Zach Nelson. For Nelson, that will be his fourth foul. Third team foul of the quarter for Minneapolis. Inbounds all the way out in three-point territory. Now they're going to swing it back to Wilson on the left-hand side. Pickering, 3 feet behind the line, and he's going to make it. Talon Pickering, his second three-pointer of the night. That's the second three-pointer for Bennington here in this fourth quarter. 56-29.
Yeah, and the shot, it looks good coming out of these guards' hand. Kean Wilson, Pickering, all of them really very fundamentally sound shooting the basketball.
Parks has it in the corner. He's unattended. They challenged him, and he answered the bell. Lawson just kind of sat there and stared at Ryan Parks, daring him to score his first points of the night, and he dropped a three ball from the corner pocket.
Yeah, good-looking shot right there from Parks. He couldn't tell if he really wanted to shoot it, and then he had the space, so he just let it rip, and great shot.
All 10 starters have scored in this game. Not a starter, Isaiah Garrett, inside for Bennington, scoring his 8th and 9th points. Here's a leaner now at the rim from Zach Nelson. That's no good, and then tried to come in and get his own rebound. He was still standing along the baseline, and a touch there is going to put Bennington with the basketball.
And that last possession where Isaiah Garrett got that pass, Pickering threw a missile from the top of the key. As Coach Pickering for Bennington is going to get a full timeout right here, but back to that pass. There was one small window right there, and Pickering saw it, knew where Garrett was going, got it right on him, and Garrett was able to go up and under with the reverse layup.
Stay tuned after the game. We'll go over final stats for you. The scoring recap brought to you by Marshall Motors. We'll also have a smart play of the game brought to you by Smart Insurance. And get you ready for what may happen tomorrow. A lot of high school basketball across the network of Eagle Communications. Twin Valley, I want to thank them as they have their hand, of course, strongly in the communities of both Bennington and Minneapolis. Twin Valley is now offering 2 gigabit per second symmetrical fiber internet in Bennington. They've also already started construction to bring fiber to Minneapolis. Talk about big cities and internet and fiber going through them. Twin Valley's making it happen here in rural America in both Bennington and Minneapolis. Lucky to have them providing internet. 58-32 our score here. Bennington fans starting to pack up the chairs and go to the cars. Started to look ahead till Saturday. And their action that will be taking place in Salina on the campus of Kansas Wesleyan. Still a lot of high school basketball tomorrow night, though, of course. As the preseason tournaments are rounding out between tomorrow and Saturday, and also some regular dates of teams that don't participate in early season tournaments. Here's a foul on Bennington. Will be their third team foul here in the fourth quarter.
Oh, and just first foul of this game.
Excuse me, that's on Minneapolis. Yeah, sorry about that. So just as active as he's been, just collecting his first foul. Isaiah Garrett, they tried to get the ball to him in the middle of the lane. He had it trapped between his feet, couldn't get it out of there. The Minneapolis squad brought it out, and then a foul will be called on Bennington.
Isaiah Garrett with his first foul of the game.
Approaching the halfway mark now, 4:15 left to go, 58-32. Bennington leading it. They came into this game, Kansas Basketball Coaches Association, 5th-ranked team in Class 2A in the state of Kansas. Minneapolis, first attempt, no good. Second attempt, no good. Lawson with the rebound. And he will walk to the other end for 2 free throw attempts. That's the 5th team foul on the Lions.
3rd foul on Dalton Kruger right there, just kind of an unforced foul. Lawson clearly had position on that. And not many people that I've seen lately are going to out-jump and out-rebound Eli Lawson.
Eli Lawson has been quiet. He hasn't scored yet here in this 4th quarter. At the end of the 3, he had 24 points. Looking to add on to that with a couple of free throws. First one bangs home. Now at 25. Exactly halfway through this 4th quarter.
Paige Rodenbeck and Kean Wilson back in.
Second free throw, no good by Lawson. He'll be stuck on 25. 59-32. Once again up by 27. That's been the biggest lead so far for the Bulldogs. Minneapolis with the basketball. Here's a steal. Mr. Smith has to save it from going out of bounds. Back into play. Kean Wilson coasting for a layup. He has 5 points all in this 4th quarter.
Yeah, good steal right there by Mr. Smith on the sideline, and able to turn and find Kean Wilson to finish with the left hand.
The gap now at 29 with 3.5 minutes left to go. Minneapolis with the basketball. Bennington still playing man-to-man defense. Here's Just a drop step and a turnaround. Again, dropping that pretty jump shot over the top of the rim. He has 12.
And that's where all of his baskets, I think, about have come at that turnaround 12 to 15-foot mark.
He's fun to watch. Here's Lawson inside. He rocks the baby to sleep. It'll have a chance and one. Got the hoop and the harm. And a 3-point opportunity coming up here for Eli Lawson, who has just punched his ticket with 27 points and a free throw pending.
Yeah, and just so quick. As soon as he corralled it, he had 2 guys coming on his right side, and he just drop steps and rises up. And when I mean rises up, his elbows are about at the backboard and not going to get his shot right there, as you're going to get Braden Polinsky at the table to give probably Eli Lawson after this free throw if it goes in the rest of the night off.
If he does make this, also keep in mind it's a 30-point gap. He leaves it strong. Bennington, though, fighting for the rebound. It comes away to Minneapolis. Joseph Wohl. So Minneapolis keeps it at 29, and we continue to operate with a normal clock. Here's Just all the way to the backboard again. Left that one long, and it's taken in on the backside by Kingston Deronay. He rose up and got the tip off the window. 63-36. Here's a drive and a lot of contact inside as Pickering ran into Deronay. The ball springs free, and it's a turnover against Bennington.
I like the good no call right there. He's kind of out of control as you're going to get a steal here by Mr. Smith.
Smith got tripped up. He's still going in hard to the rim for the one-handed flush. Mr. Smith. 65-36 and a turnover. Nope, knocked out of bounds by Lawson. I thought maybe Minneapolis threw that against the wall. All the caution goes to the Bennington cheerleaders in that area.
That was a heater.
Jeez.
Coming in.
A vapor trail off that ball. Lions will inbound. They get it into Owen Just. Rises up, tries to score over the top of Polinsky. Polinsky there to bother it and then grab the rebound. 2:10 left to play. Here's a lob towards the rim, and they find a wide-open Paige Rodenbeck for his first basket of the night. 67-36. The last 2 minutes will be a running clock. Minneapolis trying to get it inside along the block, gathering it up. Loose ball kept here by the Lions. Owen Just. He'll step into a 3. That's no good. Rebound by Polinsky. Curtis Pickering, head coach of the Bennington Bulldogs, going to call a timeout here for substitution purposes only. It will be a 30-second timeout. I think both coaches looked at each other and acknowledged that. Coach Darrow might want to take advantage of this time, though. We'll see what he chooses to do, as we will have a new kennel of dogs coming into the game. And we saw these guys play in the JV game earlier, Russ. They got a 63-16 victory. Bennington did over Minneapolis on the JV side. They were super impressive.
Yeah, just very fundamentally sound as they're going to get in and get a minute 45 of action here, up 31.
Think about the scoring average for these Bulldogs. We didn't think this game would end up in the 60s or 70s, but right now Bennington setting on 67 points. So their first game 71, their second game 64. This one's going to be 67 plus. I mean, they are putting up some points.
Yeah, and they've only given up 39 in the first two games. So if you're Minneapolis, you scored 36 on them. It's just like you said, the shots just didn't fall when they were open.
Yeah, on average, Bennington will come out of here scoring twice as much as they give up in their first three games. Here's a shot put up by the Bulldogs. That's no good. And the rebound comes away. Jonathan Golbeck tried to get that one down. We saw him make a couple of shots in that JV game. Here is a floater and a shot put up by Minneapolis at Zach Nelson. That's no good. And the rebound comes down to Thane Trout, a 5'9 junior. 70 seconds left to play here in Minneapolis. Been a fun night of high school basketball here on a Thursday night. Here's a jumper from just inside the free throw line by Polinsky. That's no good. And we go inside a minute left to play. 67-36. Bennington's going to move to 3-0. Here's Just for three. That one won't go down. A long rebound off the rim. He gets his own board. Now plays it back into the hands of Zach Nelson. Up top with the basketball, Joseph Wool. He finds Darnay down low, and Kingston Darnay scores his second basket of the quarter. 67-38, 33 seconds left to go in this one.
Also had junior Connor Fry out there for Bennington as well. We saw him pull up a few in the game. It looks like Thane Trout going to get in the scoring column with a deep range three from the far side wing.
Bennington has hit 4 3-pointers in this fourth quarter. 3 3-pointers in this quarter. They only have 4 for the game. But they've been dialing it up from long distance here. We have a foul called down low, and I think that might do it. Now the scorekeeper's going to stop the clock. Now they'll restart it. That should be the end of the game, 70-38.
Yeah, I think Darrow's going to say we're not going to shoot them, and that will be it.
So once again, Bennington, they get to the 70-point mark for the second time in the season, and they give up 38 points tonight to the Minneapolis Lions. And our final score, 70-38. We'll take a quick timeout, come back, wrap this one up. 70-38, our final score. Bennington moves to 3-0 here on Salina Post.
The hours of drills, the pre-dawn workouts, the hundreds of laps. It takes hard work, passion, and drive to do what you love. When you're sidelined by injury, Salina Regional Sports Medicine is just as committed and works just as hard to get you back in the game. Salina Regional Sports Medicine, 785-452-7366. SalinaRegionalSportsMedicine.com.
It's the holidays, the most glorious time of the year. Friends and family coming to your home to celebrate with dinner, drinks, and that terrible, horrendous smell. What is that? That is your septic system backing up into your home and making your holiday stink. If you haven't had your septic system pumped out and cleaned in the last 3 years, you're asking for trouble. Call Salina Septic Service today, and we will make sure your holiday is jolly and bright. Salina Septic Service, wishing you and yours a very Merry Christmas and worry-free holiday season.
It's the holiday season, and that means holiday gifts for you from Salina Medical Aesthetics. Now through the end of the year, purchase 1 syringe of filler and get 10 units of Botox as your holiday gift. Cruise into winter with the SME Brighten and Tighten Laser Package. 4 dye VL and 4 clear lift treatments for face and neck. Just $2,500. Botox is also 10% off. Treat yourself or those you love with specials and gift cards from Salina Medical Aesthetics. See more online with social media and salinamedesthetics.org.
The Bennington State Bank proudly supports local sports and wants each student to know that their hard work and talent is noticed and appreciated. At Bennington State Bank, they care about local communities and are committed to fostering long-term relationships through the delivery of excellent customer service, integrity, and fairness. From helping local businesses to supporting community youth and nonprofits to helping you purchase your dream home or invest in your future, Bennington State Bank is here to help. Give them a call to experience exceptional banking with hometown service. Bennington State Bank, your trusted hometown bank. Member FDIC.
Back here at Minneapolis High School to round it out in postgame, let's take a check of scoring. The scoring recap brought to you by Marshall Motors, leading all scorers tonight for the Bennington Bulldogs. Eli Lawson with 27 points, 15 points from Mr. Smith. Just on the doorstep of double digits for the Bulldogs, 9 points from Talon Pickering, 9 points for Isaiah Garrett coming off the bench, 5 points for Kean Wilson, 3 points for Thane Trout, and 2 points for Paige Rodenbeck. Minneapolis was led in scoring tonight by Owen Just, who had a dozen, 8 points for Dalton Kruger. Those all came in the second quarter of play. 4 points all for Joseph Wool, Kingston Derenay, and Zach Nelson. 3 points apiece for Grant Rice and also Ryan Parks. Bennington, 8 of 15 from the free throw line. Minneapolis, 5 out of 6. Turnovers, not a lot of turnovers in this game. Just 9 for Minneapolis unofficially, 10 for Bennington. 70-38 our final score, 3-0 for Bennington now, 0-3 on the season for Minneapolis. Our Smart Insurance, smart play of the game tonight. It's got to be that inside game, right? Yeah. We went inside for the Minneapolis girls and their victory. I think you got to do that too for the Bennington guys. The combination of Eli Lawson, who was fantastic tonight, and Mr. Smith, super, super good inside. 42 combined points of the 70. The supporting cast also very good for this Bennington squad, who I think the expectations just continue to be way up there for their season this year.
Yeah, and we give that to the inside guys, Mr. Smith and Eli Lawson, but don't take away from that guard play that they had, because the 3 guards that really saw time were really 4, because Isaiah Garrett had to come in and play a lot of that game, probably more than what Coach Pickering was expecting with Kean Wilson getting in foul trouble. But the guard play by him, Paige Rodenbeck, Talon Pickering, Pickering sees the floor very well from outside the three-point line.
Yeah, good doubleheader of basketball here. It was dominated, though, on both sides. Minneapolis girls 48-12, Bennington's boys 70-38. Both of those teams moved to 3-0 on the season, and they will continue their seasons Saturday at Mabee Arena on the campus of Kansas Wesleyan in the Tri-County Tournament. Want to thank our sponsors, of course, Salina Septic Service, Commercial Tire Centers, Elite Sports Paintball Complex, along with Apex Shears. Also on our sponsor list, Bennington State Bank with their holiday open houses, Joe Guillory at L&L Advisors as well. That will do it here from Minneapolis. The Bennington boys winning it, the Minneapolis girls winning it. Can catch games tomorrow here on SalinaPost.com with live stream video from the Irish Classic in Chapman featuring Chapman and Sacred Heart. You can also catch games with Southeast of Saline and, of course, South and Central in the Mayor's Cup. For Brian Dennett providing live stream video brought to you by Bennington State Bank, Russ Kossel, my name is Devin Haney saying thank you for joining us for a doubleheader of the Game of the Week brought to you by Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Clinic here on Salina Post.
This has been a presentation of your Game of the Week presented by Eagle Communications and Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine.